Good evening and welcome into the pregame show on the Fightin Phillies radio network. I'm Jake Starr. My broadcast partner Bob McCool will be joining myself in just a couple of moments as we look ahead to game number 5 of this week's series between the Reading Fightin Phillies and the Hartford Yard Goats. Well, the Yard Phillies looking to get back in the win column tonight. They have dropped 3 straight, which include an 8-5 loss to Hartford last night, but there was some history involved in last night's ball game, and that was Hendry Mendez hitting the first known cycle in Reading Phillies history. So no prior R-Phil has hit for the cycle, at least to our knowledge, before Hendry Mendez last night. So a lot of digging was done in the last 24 hours, and we were able to come up with that antidote. So never know what you're going to see at the ballpark. We'll file that one under rare things that we have seen. And new night tonight, we'll see what the night has in store. And I think most of all for the R-Phil is just trying to find a way to get back in the win column for tonight's game. Chuck King gets the start for the R-Phil, so go up against Jack Mahoney, who gets the ball for the Yard Goats. King coming off a 6-inning start last week against New Hampshire, earned his second victory of the season. King, who has been an absolute workhorse for the R-Phils this year, after not starting professionally before this season, he has found a way to basically go 5-6 innings, practically every start at this point. So it's King and Mahoney, and it's coming up in just about 13 minutes' time here at FirstEnergy Stadium. But for now, we're going to step aside for a moment here on our pregame show. When we come back, we're joined for part 2 of our sit-down with the Phillies Assistant Director of Player Development, Edwin Soto. That conversation with Soto is coming up when the pregame show rolls on after this.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to FirstEnergy Stadium as the Reading Fightin Phils and the Hartford Yard Goats square off against one another. This is game 5 of this 6-game series. The Yard Goats have won 3 straight after the Phils won the series opener. Tonight it'll be a matchup of right-handers. Jack Mahoney goes for the Yard Goats and Chuck King goes for the Phils. We'll tell you a little bit more about them as we work our way through this first inning. But first, let's tell you the starting lineup for the Yard Goats. Cole Carrick will lead off tonight. Back in the leadoff spot, he is in right field. Juan Guerrero bats second, he's in left field. Benny Montgomery is in center field tonight and batting third. Jose Cordova bats in the cleanup spot at first base. Third baseman Jose Torres bats fifth. The designated hitter tonight is Braid Ward, he bats sixth. Roniger Palma bats in the seventh spot and is behind the plate. Dion Jorge is at shortstop tonight, batting eighth, and G.J. Hill is batting ninth and at second base. That lineup facing right-hander Chuck King for the Reading Fightin Phils.
13th appearance of the year for King. His 11th start. He's 2-3, a 5.11 ERA, 56 and a third innings pitched, 68 hits, 11 walks, 45 strikeouts. Opponents hitting .300 against Chuck King this season. King coming off his second win of the season. 6 innings, 3 earned runs, matched the season high in 5 strikeouts, along with 88 pitches. And King, he's become a workhorse this year. He really has, and it's been kind of fun to watch.
Our game time temperature for tonight is a robust 87 degrees. Yesterday, the first official day of summer, and it feels like it's summer here in Berks County. Finally is
Took long
agreed.
enough.
Wind at about 3 miles an hour with gusts about 8 miles an hour. It's blowing pretty well right now. It is blowing straight out on the American flag on top of the Redners Event Center. Cole Carrick in leadoff spot, or back in the leadoff spot. He has been leading off every night, but had the night off last night. He is 3 for 14 in the series, hitting at .263 on the year with 10 home runs and a team-high 40 RBIs. And the first pitch from Chuck King, laced down the left field line. Henry Mendez with a long run. He won't get it. It one hops off the fence, and Cole Carrick will roll into second base with a stand-up double on the first pitch of the ball game.
That'll be his 9th double of the season. Carrick, a lefty switch hitter, got a pitch, fastball outside. It was off the plate, and he just sat back on it, threw the hands on it, got a piece of the barrel, and shot it right down that left field line. Nothing Henry Mendez could have done to get to that one.
So our game time temperature and weather is brought to you by All Temp Enterprises. So now with a man on second, Chuck King will go after Juan Guerrero. Guerrero with just 1 hit in this series. It was a big one, however. It's a 2-run double. And he takes this first pitch, started and stopped, and it's over for a called strike one. Guerrero at .262 on the season. 1 home run and 19 RBIs. Has a man in scoring position in Carrick, who's got great speed. King will have to keep an eye on him. Takes a look back and delivers. And the pitch outside with a fastball. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. As he told you, Henry Mendez is in left. Kate Fergus is in center. Felix Reyes is at right. Alex Pinellas is at first base. Robert Moore at second. Luis Verdugo is at shortstop tonight. Carson DiMartini at third, and Paul McIntosh behind the plate. 1-1 pitch from King is way outside. Good catch by McIntosh. Prevent that one from going to the backstop, and it's 2-1. King, 27-year-old right-hander. He's 6'5", 215 pounds. His college baseball at TCU. Carrick dancing around at second. The pitch, hopper to Carson DiMartini at third. He'll hold the runner and make the play across the diamond for out number 1.
Yeah, great ground ball there. Get by King. To DiMartini on the left side, so it holds the runner. And a good play by DiMartini, who's back to third base tonight. You hope that kind of gives him some comfortability. Probably thought is that he's at third tonight. Miller's the DH, so you'd hope Miller's in the lineup as the shortstop tomorrow. They want to get DiMartini back to third a night before that.
So that'll bring up Benny Montgomery, a bit of a homecoming for Montgomery, back in his home territory, the Redland High School native outside of Harrisburg, but it's been a rough homecoming. Cole Carrick started and stopped at second as Montgomery takes it outside for a ball. Montgomery had the last couple of nights off as he struggled in the first 2 games of the series, 0 for 9 with 7 strikeouts. But back in the lineup tonight and in the 3-hole as well. The first pitch to him was outside for a ball as King gets set to bring him a 1-0 pitch that's lifted straight up, shallow right. Pinellas back, Reyes in, and Felix Reyes will make the catch at the last second, plucks it out of the air.
Great play by Felix Reyes. Good communication, too. It's ironic because the Phillies were actually practicing those type of pop flies today before batting practice. They had the pitching machine set up at home plate, and Al Patricky was feeding balls in, and it was mile-high pop flies that are pretty much, shallow outfield, so it really forced the infielders and outfielders to have to communicate because those kind of plays have been a struggle point as of late. So they really spent a good half hour repping those today, and it pays off.
And so now there are 2 outs in the inning, and Jose Cordova will bat. And Carrick takes off. The throw down to third is not held onto by DeMartini, and so it'll be a stolen base for Carrick. With 2 outs now, he's at third base, and the pitch to Cordova was outside for a ball. So not a whole lot McIntosh could do. He had to make that throw from his knees. Cordova was on the development list through the beginning of this series, was off the development list last night, came off in a big way with a couple home runs and 3 RBIs. 1-0 pitch to him is again outside. It's 2-0. Both his home runs the other way for the right-handed hitter. His 3rd and 4th home runs of the year. He's hitting at .299. King's 2-0 pitch, fouled out of play. Yard Goats at 35 and 32 on the season now with that 3-game winning streak they currently have. Phils with the 3-game losing streak, on the other hand, are now at 24 and 41. So after game 1 of this series, Yard Goats were on the verge of flipping under the 500 mark, but obviously they've righted that ship. 2-1 pitches lined into right field. Reyes back, and he'll make the catch to end the inning. And the leadoff double goes for naught as King works his way out of the first. For Hartford in inning number 1, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and that 1 left on base. When we come back to Baseball Town, the home team bats for the first time tonight. Here's tonight's Fightin' Phil's starting lineup presented by Golden Oaks Landscaping. Aiden Miller back in the Phil's lineup. He'll be the designated hitter tonight for the Phils, followed by Carson DeMartini back at third base. The man of the night last night for the Phils, Henry Mendez back in the 3-hole, followed by Felix Reyes in the cleanup spot. Alex Pinellas bats 5th, Paul McIntosh 6th. Robert Moore bats 7th tonight, with Luis Verdugo batting 8th, and Cade Fergus back in the lineup as well. He is batting 9th. That lineup facing a right-hander for the Hartford Yard Goats, Jack Mahoney.
Jack Mahoney making his 12th start. He's 0-3 with a 6.59 ERA. 42 1/3 innings pitched, 56 hits, 31 runs allowed, 18 walks, 36 strikeouts. Opponents hitting .322 against Jack Mahoney this year.
So as we said, Aiden Miller back in the lineup, making his first appearance for the Fightin' Phils since June 11th. Was never put on the IL. It was just kind of a day-to-day situation, but Aiden Miller does return, and tonight playing as the DH. The Fightin' Phils, by the way, are playing in their specialty Star Wars jerseys tonight. Those jerseys are available and for an auction. If you go on the Phils website, you find out more information on how you can bid for those jerseys. As Aiden Miller steps to the plate, .235 hitter with 6 home runs and 17 RBIs. And the first pitch to it was up high for a ball.
Miller, who went through a full workout yesterday, felt really good. Told me today that pretty much feel 100% at this point. So he is very excited to be back, and he's ready to roll.
1-0 pitch from Mahoney. He's up high again. It's ball 2. So having not played in 10 days, we'll see how the timing is for Miller. 2 balls and no strikes to him here. And that's up and in. It's 3-0.
I mean, he hasn't really been given a chance to take the bat off the shoulder. Miller does lead the team in walks with 29.
And it's stolen bases, so we'll add that into the mix as well. 3-0 pitch. Right down the middle for strike 1. 95 on the radar gun for Mahoney. Throws a 2-seam and a 4-seam fastball. And he can run it up there, 93 to 97. Slider and a change as well. 3-1 pitch. Lined and a knocked down by Jorge at shortstop, and that's it as it rolls into center field. Aiden Miller safe at first on a hard hit ball off the glove of the shortstop, Dion Jorge.
See what they give that. I mean, it was 106 off the bat. Jorge kind of had to olay it. It's going to be a single. That's the right call. So welcome back, Aiden Miller. Swing's looking good on that first one. And that'll bring Carson DiMartini to the plate.
Here is the defense behind Mahoney. Juan Guerrero is in left field. Benny Montgomery in center. Cole Carrick shifts over to right field tonight. Jose Cordova is at first. G.J. Hill is at second. We just told you Dion Jorge is at short. Jose Torres at third. And Roniger Palma behind the plate. Snap pickoff attempt at Aiden Miller just got picked off first base. So that quickly, Aiden Miller has to walk back to the dugout having gotten picked off first base. So looking at it as a caught stealing. And here is the first pitch to DiMartini. He hits it on the right side, and it goes past the glove of Cordova, and that's into right field. And we'll see how they score that one.
That one not hit as hard, just 88 off the bat from Carson DiMartini. Had a couple of hits last night. Let's see if they give him another one or if it'll be an error against Cordova at first. It will be an error, so that's Cordova's third.
And so that brings up Henry Mendez. And, of course, Jake mentioned it in the pregame show if you missed it and you weren't missing last night. Henry Mendez with the cycle last night for the Fightin' Phils. And the first pitch to him here, lined into center field, and that's 5 in a row as he gets himself a base hit. 5 straight hits.
All right, Bob, we need a double, a triple, and a home run. And then we got ourselves another cycle.
Right, and the backstory is this. Jake did a ton of homework last night. He went through so many dusty books, he was sneezing half the night. But he did find out, to the best of anybody's knowledge, that is the first cycle in Reading Fightin' Phils team history. And Henry Mendez has that in his back pocket now. He's now got another hit. The Phils have 2 on, 1 out. And here comes Felix Reyes. First pitch to Reyes, slap the other way into right field, due for a base hit. They're going to wave DiMartini around. Carrick up with the throw, it's up the line, but he tags out DiMartini. He is out at home. All the other runners move up. DiMartini's going to argue that he had no path to the plate.
Yeah, I think that's what he's asking right now, is that plate was blocked, but I mean, it looks like the throw took Palma into the line, so.
Palma's a little shaken up right now. So DiMartini's not getting any argument help from the dugout. Right now, the trainer for the Yard Goats out looking at Roniger Palma. Looks like he's looking at the bare hand of Palma, not the glove hand. So Carrick, who's got a great arm, comes up firing in right field this time, and he throws out another base runner.
And it wasn't really even a great throw. It took the catcher Palma up the line. It just happened to be that DiMartini was right there when the throw came. If DiMartini was a step past him, he's in there easily. So that's 2 outs in the base paths this inning for the Fightin' Phils.
Yeah, this is very much right now a what could have been kind of inning. But it's still not over. Second and third, both runners did move up on the throw. Mendez to third, Reyes to second. And now Alex Pinellas will bat, but right now still tending to Roniger Palma. He made a couple of warm-up throws to see how the hand is. Again, either hand or probably the wrist, more so than anything, on the collision on the tag. I'm sure, no doubt, he had the ball in his hand, his bare hand holding the ball in the glove, and then the collision that jarred that somehow or another. So Alex Pinellas will bat with 2 runners in scoring position. Mendez at third, Reyes at second, and now 2 out. So yeah, the pickoff attempt, or the pick off of Aiden Miller on first, and now the runner thrown out at home. And so the Phils with no runs yet to show for it, and hoping that Pinellas can change that. In the dirt, good block by Palma. And by the way, in case you're wondering, I did say Michael Jones will wave him around because Michael Jones is coaching at third. Carl Ellison coaching at first tonight.
Al Padrique in the dugout tonight.
Trying to shake the mojo, I assume. 1 ball and no strikes now to Pinellas. Takes that one in the dirt. It's 2-0. Another good block by Palma. We kiddingly talked about the fact that during the New Hampshire series, the Phils had been swinging a hot bat, and Al Padrique was on vacation, and if in fact the skipper returned, he might have to stay in the dugout. Now maybe they're just trying to shake it back up again. Maybe we can bring back some of that offensive spark. Well, they hit the ball well so far here in this first inning. Nothing to show for it yet. Pinellas in the dirt. Mendez is going to make a dash for it, and he's going to make it safely. Mendez and Mahoney collide at the plate, and now Mendez is shaken up.
Yeah, Mendez grabbing right for that lower back. Him and Mahoney kind of collided, and Mahoney actually ended up using Mendez's lower back to brace himself. I don't think it was intentional. You'll see the replay right here. Yeah, the right hand of Mahoney goes right into the lower back of Mendez, and you really hope he is okay because he's swinging a red-hot bat right now. And you got to think it's hopefully this more of a collision type thing and nothing worse than that. The trainer's kind of, I guess, massaging the back.
Yeah, he's down face first on the ground. He immediately grabbed for his lower back. And I'm sure they'll check on Mahoney too. Mahoney seems to be fine. Felix Reyes moves up to third base on the play as well. So the run does count. Right now the concern is Hendry Mendez, as Palma picked it up and then flipped it to Mahoney covering. And Mendez and Mahoney got there at the same time. Mendez got the slide in, and as Jake said, Mahoney kind of bracing himself for the collision. The hands came up into the back of Mendez. So he looks to be in a great deal of pain right now.
Yeah, and they're grabbing right for that lower back.
So they'll help him to his feet. Now the question is whether or not he'll be able to shake it off and stay in this ball game, because you'd love to keep that hot bat in it.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully it's one of those ones you can just walk off. But we'll kind of see. Mendez right now walking very gingerly back to the dugout as Mahoney begins his warm-up tosses.
Elliot Melton is our home plate umpire tonight. Jalen Goodman is at first base. Stone Garver at third, and our 3-man officiating umpiring crew here at FirstEnergy Stadium. Reyes now at third base, 2 outs, and Pinellas fouls this one straight back. Count 2 balls and 2 strikes to Alex Pinellas.
Nice play by a little kid
Yeah.
on the hop. The kid can't be more than like 6 or 7 years old.
I see him.
This right in the glove, off the ricochet.
2-2 pitch, way inside. This one gets away as well. This time Felix Reyes will walk home. So a couple of wild pitches help the Phils out. This is a really strange inning.
Yeah, I mean, 2 guys thrown off the base pass, and you get 2 runs that score on wild pitches.
Take them where you get them, but they lead it 2-0.
This is one of the innings of all time.
Yeah, it is. And now the bases are empty, and the count is full to Alex Pinellas. And that's over for a called strike 3, and that will end the first inning. But the Phils do get 2 runs. They did it on 3 hits. There was 1 error, and ultimately nobody left on base. We played 1. It's 2-0. Fightin Phils on top. International Fireworks is the official sponsor of the Phillies Fireworks Show during the 2025 season. Head to their store at 242 Sycamore Road in Douglasville or visit fireworksrus.com. They came with a big truck tonight. It's a Mega Blast Fireworks, the largest fireworks show in stadium history. And it's happening tonight after this game is over with. Well, we do know the result now with terms of Henry Mendez. He is out of the game. Felix Reyes moves from right field to left. Leandro Pineda will take over, and he will bat in Henry Mendez's 3 spot in the lineup. Jose Torres will lead it off for the Yard Goats here in inning number 2, to be followed by Braden Ward and Roniker Palma. Torres, 3 for 16 in this series, is hitting at .240 with 8 home runs and 37 RBIs. And the first pitch from Chuck King is there for a called strike. Kyle Karros, who's having an outstanding season for the Hartford Yard Goats, has the night off. He's riding a 30-game string of on-base, or a 30-game on-base string. So he'll carry that into tomorrow's series finale. Pitch outside to Torres. It's 1 ball and 1 strike to the right-hand hitting Jose Torres. Chuck King pitching from the stretch. 1-1 pitch is roped down the third base line, but hooked foul. It's 1-2. It is a heavy right-handed hitting lineup tonight against Chuck King. Only 1 left-handed bat in the lineup by natural, actually with 2 switch hitters in there, Cole Carrick being one of them. A 9-hole hitter, G.J. Hill, also a switch hitter, so they'll bat left-handed against King. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Jose Torres. This one drilled into left center field, high and deep. Reyes back to the wall, and it is not coming back. Jose Torres with a towering home run into the Phillies bullpen, his 9th home run of the year, and it's now a 2-1 game in favor of the Fightin' Phils.
Yeah, it was a changeup, just a little bit too far up in the zone there from King, and Torres made him pay. 105 off the bat, 381 feet, and the Yard Goats cut the lead for the Fightin' Phils in half.
Now, the long ball has been a problem for Chuck King this season. That is the 14th home run surrendered by King. And it's now Braden Ward at the plate. And he slaps the first one foul and out of play. Ward at .281 on the season. A home run and 15 RBIs. He's 4 for 10 in this series. Left-handed hitter with great wheels. Batted in the leadoff spot with Carey getting the night off last night. And this pitch is over for a called strike. Chuck King quickly gets ahead of Braden Ward. No balls and 2 strikes. And Ward will call time. Phillies play him very much around the other way. Center fielder Cade Fergus well into left center field. 0-2 pitch. In the dirt, 1-2. Great crowd on hand as usual on a hot and sunny Saturday night here at FirstEnergy Stadium. King comes 1-2. This one towards shortstop. Verdugo will get his first chance. The throw is just in time as Benelis holds the bag for out number 1. Told you that Braden Ward can run. He almost beat out a ground ball to short.
I mean, he's got 20 stolen bases this year, and you can see why. It wasn't the hardest hit ground ball, and the combination of that and his speed, but good job by Luis Verdugo at short to get to it, and didn't really waste any time getting a throw over to first.
Instead of bringing up Roniker Palma. Palma hasn't played a lot for the Yard Goats this season. Just 15 at-bats on the year so far, and he's 2 for 15. 4 of those 15 came earlier in this series. He did play 1 game earlier this series. So he's 1 for 4 in the series. And 2 for 15 on the year. 0-1 pitch coming from King. Back through the middle in the direction of Robert Moore. The second baseman has it. The throw over, plenty of time for out number 2. Going to bring Dion Jorge to the plate. Jorge hitting at just 190 on the season, 2 home runs and 23 RBIs. He's 2 for 13 in this series. and misses just outside for a ball. So far, it's been an economy of pitches for Chuck King. About to throw his 23rd pitch. And that's a bit low. It's 2-0. That's at the knees for a called strike one. So King keeping it low for Jorge. And now it's 2 balls and 1 strike. Fouled out of play. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. So King gets himself right back in a favorable position in the count. G.J. Hill in the on-deck circle if Jorge can reach. 2-2 pitch in the dirt. It's 3-2. So King a little frustration from himself.
Yeah, I think it was a change up and he just overthrew it. So that 3-2, 2 outs here. See if King can come back here. He's done a good job limiting the walks this year. That's 11 and 56 and a third entering tonight.
3-2 pitch. Swung on and fouled on the third baseline. Bobby Meacham, the manager for the Yard Goats, his second season. Luis Lopez coaching at first for Hartford. Time called now by Jorge at the plate. I'm not sure if that ball must have hit off his foot. It looks like he's kind of wiggling that left front foot of his. So I guess that must have been the case. Went pretty far. So I understand why he's in pain. It's 3-2. Go again. Inside ball 4. First walk surrendered by Chuck King comes with 2 outs here in the second.
You got to hope it doesn't come back to hurt him. Got the 9-hole hitter, G.J. Hill, up. He's a 174 hitter. So, see if King just goes right after Hill here and tries to get to his 3rd out.
174 is correct, but he's been a problem in the series. Didn't play in the first 2 games. Played in Game 3 and Game 4, and he's 3 for 6 out of the 9 spot, including a triple, a couple RBIs. He's also walked twice, so he's been on base 5 times in 2 games. First pitch to him. Switch hitter takes it outside for a ball. G.J. Hill, the son of the former big leaguer Glenn Allen Hill. Played for a number of different teams, including the Giants. Played for the Cleveland then Indians at the time. Played for the Yankees at one time as well. 1-0 pitch. This one is lifted foul straight back behind us. It's 1-1.
I think G.J. stands for Glenn Jr.
It is. That is correct. He is Glenn Allen Jr. So it goes by G.J.
Makes sense.
He's 24 years old. Drafted out of high school by the Arizona Diamondbacks in the 4th round in 2019. 1-1 pitch. Fouled straight back. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Dion Jorge takes his lead off of first with 2 outs. Top half for the second. King's 1-2 pitch. Jorge takes off. The pitch is high. The throw down is on the other side of the bag. And Jorge will slide in with a stolen base.
10th stolen bag of the year for Dion Jorge. Luis Verdugo thought he got the tag down in time, but Stone Garver, the third base umpire, disagrees with him. So now the Yard Goats put a man in scoring position with 2 outs here against King.
And 2 balls and 2 strikes on G.J. Hill. Again, switch hitter batting left against King. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and that will do it for the Yard Goats here in the second inning. First strikeout for Chuck King, and in the inning, a run on 1 hit. It was the home run by Torres. No errors and 1 man left on base. We are headed to the bottom of the second. It's 2-1, Fightin' Phil's on top.
Well, Bob's got his net out the window as the crazy hot dog vendor's doing his thing. And to the surprise of nobody, the hot dogs did not get up here, Bob. So I'm sorry for another night of disappointment. You'll never be me 2 years ago with 7 hot dog catches, but maybe one of these days.
One day, he'll catch a wind drift, and it'll happen. We head to the bottom half of the second inning. This inning brought to you by Cornwall Manor, an active senior living not-for-profit community in scenic Cornwall, Pennsylvania, outside of Lebanon. 2-1 Fightin' Phils on top. Paul McIntosh will lead it off for the Phils here in inning number 2. Robert Moore and Luis Verdugo will follow. If you tuned in late, Henry Mendez with a base hit his first time up as part of a kind of a weird and wacky first inning for the Phils. His 5th straight hit, but unfortunately he ended up scoring a run. Not unfortunately he scored a run, but in the process of scoring that run, a little bit of a collision between himself and the pitcher Jack Mahoney, shaken up with a backing situation and out of the game as McIntosh takes the first pitch from Mahoney for a strike. So Leandro Pineda now will bat in the 3-hole for Mendez when the Phils lineup rolls around back to the top. 0-1 pitch to McIntosh is outside, ball 1. 1 ball and 1 strike to McIntosh, who's 1 for 8 in the series. Batting average now at .217 with 4 home runs and 17 RBIs. 1-1 pitch. Beats this one on the ground on the third baseline. Backhanded by Torres. Long throw on the money from in foul territory. Jose Torres showing off an arm.
Yeah, really good play there by Jose Torres. Fielded it right on the line, very deep in the hole at third. And he fires a rocket across in time. Didn't hop it. It was hit Cordova pretty much right in the chest.
So that'll bring Robert Moore to the plate. Switch hitter going to bat left-handed. Phils with 4 left-handed sticks in the lineup, including Moore from the left-hand side as a switch hitter. And the first pitch to him is outside, ball 1. Robert Moore at .215 on the season. 5 home runs and 22 RBIs. He's 2 for 10 in the series with a double and a couple RBIs. 1-0 pitch from Mahoney. Lifts this one foul and out of play. Mahoney was not able to finish his last start for the Yard Goats. He was, ironically enough, tangled up in a play at first base in which the base runner stepped on his foot, spiked him. He had to come out of the game against Akron. 1-1 pitch comes from Mahoney. Lifts another one foul and out of play. So Mahoney covering first base in that situation was stepped on by the base runner. He stayed in the game initially, but then ultimately realized it couldn't go. So it's 1 ball and 2 strikes to Robert Moore. Pitch just misses outside. They'll appeal. He didn't even come close to swinging. I think Roniker Palmer just thought it was a called strike, so he thought, well, maybe if I appeal. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Drives this one deep to right field. Carrick turns, and it's off the top of the railing of the Renters Event Center. And Robert Moore will have himself a stand-up double. Oh, so close to being on the veranda.
Yeah, we're taking a look at the replay on MILB TV right here. Let's see here. Got the bottom of the railing, so maybe a foot from getting over. Registered at 380, needed to go 381, but Robert Moore would have been a double regardless, and it's his 12th of the year. He's had a lot of doubles recently. Let's see if the Fightin' Phils can tack some more runs on here.
So they've certainly hit Mahoney hard so far. That is their 4th hit of this game as Verdugo stands in. Verdugo at 152. At his first hit in the series last night in the 9th inning. 1 for 7 in the series as he takes the first pitch low for a ball. So runner at second base, 1 out. 2-1 is our score. Fightin' Phils lead it. We're in the bottom of the second inning. One-0 pitch to Verdugo. Way up high, it's 2-0. By the way, right before Robert Moore hit that double, it was on the scoreboard, it said, Wookie wants noise. I don't think
Bob's going to get that reference.
I don't ever envision Harry Callis ever having to said that at any point in time in his Hall of Fame broadcast career. 2 balls and no strikes to Luis Verdugo. Drives this one down the right field line, looping but foul. Didn't get much of it, but I was hoping for maybe a little chalk and would allow Robert Moore to score, but instead it's a foul ball. It's 2-1. Ward taking his lead off of second. G.J. Hill, the second baseman, kind of creeping a little bit towards the bag to keep him closer. Opens up that hole for Verdugo if he can go that way. 2-1 pitch. He's up and in. It's 3-1. The control has been an issue for Mahoney. He's also given up 7 home runs and about a foot or so away from giving up his 8th with Robert Moore's double. 3-1 pitch coming to Verdugo. Almost hit him. It's ball 4. I don't know how it didn't hit him.
Yeah. Well, it's going to get on base either way, so you'll take it. Goes in the book as a walk. First tonight for Mahoney. Now brings Cade Fergus to the plate, who's got some pop. Night off last night. Let's see how Fergus does in his first at-bat tonight.
Fergus 1 for 9 in the series, just 153 batting average, but he's shown some incredible pop this season with 7 home runs and 15 RBIs. Now Roniker Palmer's going to go out and have a conversation with Mahoney on the mound. Mahoney recognized as the number 24 prospect in the Rockies organization before the season began. Originally from Algonquin, Illinois, drafted by the Rockies in the 3rd round in 2023 out of South Carolina. Last year made 17 starts at single A Fresno and then 5 more at the end of the season in high A Spokane. He's been with the Yard Goats all this season, making his 12th start tonight. Got himself a little bit of a trouble here. First and second and 1 out, and Cade Fergus at the plate. First pitch, outside, ball 1. Aiden Miller in the on-deck circle for the Phils, representing the top of the order tonight. Mahoney takes a look back at Moore at second. Comes 1-0. Fergus started and stopped. It's 2-0. Nope. Is it a called strike? It's a called strike. It's 1 ball and 1 strike.
Yeah, I was confused. I looked over at the strike zone, and it was right down the middle.
Right.
But I didn't see an initial call from Elliot Melton, though.
I think this entire crew has the delayed strike call. 1 ball and 1 strike to Fergus. Check swing, lifts it down the first base line. Cordova will give it chase, but he'll run out of room. It bounces around and up and on top of the Savage 61 dugout suite. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes now to Cade Fergus. Pitch clock again is not working tonight here at FirstEnergy Stadium, so unofficially there is no pitch clock violations. It's working. The center field one is not working, I should say, but they
the other 2 are.
The other 2 are, but they have to turn them off as a result. 1-2 pitch. Broken bat, looper in the middle of the infield. Third baseman Torres is going to flip to second for 1. And that's all they'll be able to get. For the second out, now runners at the corners for the Phils.
I think good job by Robert Moore on a couple of things there. A, not running into that ball, but B, he kind of slowed up a little bit to kind of make it tougher for Torres to see it and forcing Torres to have to kind of sit back on it. He can't run into Robert Moore, so forcing to only get 1 out. I mean, Fergus does run well, but still, it was pretty much forcing to just have the 1 out on the play.
So Aiden Miller now will bat. Singled his first time up. Runners at the corners now and 2 outs for the leadoff man in the Phils lineup. Back in the Phils lineup. And the first pitch is low, ball 1. Miller with 17 RBIs on the season has a position for Moore in here. Moore at third and Fergus at first base. Mahoney working from the stretch. Way outside again, it's 2-0. He's thrown 2 to the backstop. That's how the Phils got their 2 runs. Despite the 3 hits in the first inning, Phils ended up getting 2 runs on wild pitches. So it's 2 balls and no strikes to Miller. He fell behind Miller 3-0 to start the game. That's way outside again. Another good stop by Palma. It's 3 balls and no strikes to Aiden Miller.
Miller's first at bat went 3-0-2.
Correct.
Eventually saw a strike and then lined a single to short.
And the ball was knocked down by the shortstop Dion Jorge, but had no play, and it was a base hit. So it's 3 balls and no strikes again to Aiden Miller. I have to assume he's got a green light. It's outside, ball 4. So the second walk in the inning and of the night for Mahoney. It loads the bases. I'll bring up Carson DiMartini. Martini's safe on an error his first time up. But before all that, we're going to get a visit from pitching coach Dan Meyer.
35 pitches for Mahoney so far. Bryant Betancourt, the third string catcher for Hartford tonight, is running out to the bullpen. So makes me think that a arm is going to probably start throwing here soon for the yard goats. At least start to get loose because Mahoney's running a high pitch count again.
So DiMartini, who has just 1 RBI as a Fightin' Phil, is up in a big spot here for Reading. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Bottom of the second, with right now is a 2-1 Fightin' Phil's lead. So the conversation, a long one. Elliot Melton, the home plate umpire, goes out. I assume to break it up, although right now he seems like he's just listening in. Conversation is over. All 4 infielders are there. So it must have been a high-level meeting. See if DiMartini can make him pay for a couple of walks here. Good speed on the bases right now with Moore at third, Fergus at second, and Miller at first. Left-hand hitter Carson DiMartini at the plate. First pitch started and stopped. It's a called strike 1.
DiMartini reached on an error by Cordova at first, his first time up. Had 2 hits last night. First pair of hits this week. And it also included a triple for DiMartini.
Mahoney's 0-1 pitch. Just misses, it's 1-1. I'm waiting. I am not getting burned by these guys. I'm telling you, all 3 of them have a delayed strike call. It's 1-1 to Carson DiMartini. That's in the dirt. Palma got a piece of it, kept it from getting all the way away from him, and Moore cannot advance. So it's 2-1 to DiMartini.
DiMartini just 1 at-bat with the bases loaded. This season was retired, at least since joining Reading.
Two balls and 1 strike. Bases loaded, 2 out. Low ball 3.
Now you got to really be certain here. You got a pitcher who's struggling with command. He's nibbling around the zone. 1 pitch, 1 spot, because if it's a strike and you don't like it, you get to see another day.
3-1. Line to right down and knocked down by Cordova. Going to be a race to the bag. He dives and he'll get DiMartini at first base. Jose Cordova knocked it down and dives at first base to get there before DiMartini, and that will end the inning. For the Phils in the second, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and they leave the bases loaded. 2 complete. It's 2-1. Fightin' Phils on top. We want to thank our good friends at Pepsi for presenting the 2025 season here in Baseball Town. Go Fightin' Phils and drink more Pepsi. Alongside Jake Starry, my name is Bob McCool. You're listening to Reading Fightin' Phils Baseball. Philadelphia Phillies and New York Mets getting underway. A game, of course, on WEU 8:30 a.m. Scott Fransky, Kevin Stocker with a call of that one. Live for you on WEU. And Mick Abel getting the start for the Phils in that game. The Mets looking at the game right now. The Mets did get a run in the first inning as the Phils come to the plate in the bottom of the first. Here in Reading, Cole Carrick leads it off. Leadoff hitter drives this one straight, high, and deep into shallow center field. Cade Fergus will drift over and he'll make the catch for out number one. So Cole Carrick on his first at-bat lined a double into left field. On his second at-bat, swings at the first pitch and flies out to center field. So Carrick's 1 for 2 on 2 pitches. And that'll bring up Juan Guerrero. 2-1 is our score. Fightin' Phils lead the Hartford Yard Goats with Hartford at the plate and 1 out and Juan Guerrero batting against Chuck King. King's first pitch just outside, ball 1. This one a hop, right at Verdugo at short. He'll make the toss across in plenty of time because the ball was a bullet off the bat. 104 off the bat from Guerrero, but on a hop right at Luis Verdugo at shortstop for out number 2. So 3 pitches in the inning, and Chuck King's got 2 outs. And I'll bring up Benny Montgomery, who flew out shallow to right field on a fine running catch by then Felix Reyes in right field. He's now in left field with Pineda in right field. First pitch to Montgomery. Not sure if that hit the knob of his bat. It did. Montgomery tried to check his swing on a pitch up and in, and it hit the knob of the bat. So it's a foul ball and strike 1 to Montgomery, who's 0 for 10 now in this series. Takes that one for a ball. It's 1-1. Mentioned it in his first at bat. Benny Montgomery played his high school baseball at Redland High School, played a couple of state championships for Redland. They won it in 2019. They were the runner-up in 2021. 2020, of course, there was no high school baseball championships because of the COVID season. It was a great team full of former Little League All-Stars because that Redland team made the Little League championship. Montgomery was not a member of that team, did not live in the Redland area at that time. 1 ball and 2 strikes now to the right-handed hitter. That's up high, it's 2-2. Montgomery's still just 22 years of age. He was drafted by the Rockies right out of Redland High School with the number 8 overall pick in the 2021 draft. 2 balls and 2 strikes to him. Low ball 3. Montgomery's got great wheels, no doubt about that. He's got a really strong arm. Kind of interesting with both Cole Carrick and Montgomery on this team. Both of them are natural center fielders. Carrick has played there mostly tonight. Montgomery's in center with Carrick in right. 3-2 pitch. Beats it foul at the plate. You could see a ton of frustration on Montgomery in the first couple of games of this series. Probably internal pressure, being back here. No doubt had a number of family and friends in attendance. And Bobby Meacham gave him a couple nights off. Right back in the lineup. Right now he's 3-2. Now time is called at the plate. Montgomery calls the time. Chuck King delivers 3-2. Slow roller down the third baseline. DeMartini charges off balance throw. He's going to have no chance. It'll be an infield single for Benny Montgomery. Basically a swinging bunt. And with the speed of Montgomery, DeMartini did what he could. Fielded it barehanded, tried to make something out of it. But ultimately, Montgomery too fast. He's safe at first with 2 outs, a 2-out single. Third hit of the game for the Yard Goats. You got to pay attention to Montgomery on the bases, although so far this year he's stolen 2 bases. He's been caught 4 times. Good size lead at first right now as Jose Cordova bats. And the first pitch to him is over for a called strike one. One pitch is way outside. Good catch by McIntosh. 1 ball and 1 strike. Both catchers, Roniker Palma and Paul McIntosh, have made some nice backhanded grabs of some balls in this game. Of course, 2 of them got by Roniker Palmer, leading to a couple wild pitch runs scored for the Phils in the first inning. 1-1 pitch, fisted into right field, falling fast. Pineda, however, will get there and make the catch about shin high for out number 3. That will do it for the Yard Goats in the third. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 man left. When we come back to Baseball Town, we head to the bottom of the third on the Reading Fightin Phillies Radio Network. Fightin's lead at 2-1. Bottom half of the third inning is brought to you by Sports Carlton PC. You can expect reliable and experienced attorneys who are committed to getting you justice after a serious personal injury. Call Sports Carlton today at 1-800-JUSTICE. Leandro Pineda will lead it off for the Phils here in the third, followed by Felix Reyes and Alex Pinellas. Again, if you tuned in late, the reason that Pineda will be batting for the first time as he comes to the plate here in the third inning. He came in for Hendry Mendez, who was shaken up on a collision at the plate between pitcher Jack Mahoney covering after the ball got away from Roniker Palma. And Mahoney and Mendez met at home plate at the same time, and there was a little bit of a bump that caused the back issue for Mendez. He was down on the ground for a while and ultimately comes out of the game. So Pineda comes into his spot in the batting order, batting for the first time. Pineda at 195 on the year with 4 home runs. 17 RBIs. First pitch to him from Mahoney is a bit low for a ball.
Also, wanted to know there was a switch. DeMartini reached on an error in the first, has been changed to a base hit.
Okay. So 5 hits now for the Phils. This one squirted down the third base line, but foul. And speaking of DeMartini, there was that ground ball at the end of the last inning for the Phils with the bases loaded. Jose Cordova, the first baseman, knocked it down. There was a race to the bag between Cordova and DeMartini. Cordova dove head first, touched the bag with his glove. And there was some talking afterwards between DeMartini and Mahoney. And I wasn't sure at first if it was amicable or not, but based on the look of Mahoney's face by the time he got to the dugout, I don't think it was amicable. 1-1 pitch to Pineda is outside. It's 2-1. So Mahoney, who was already involved in a collision at the plate today, and again, his last start against Akron, he ended up coming out of the game getting stepped on at first base. So I don't know if that had anything to do with what Mahoney is talking about with DeMartini or not. 2-1 pitch. Down to first base line, and that's fair ball down to the corner. Pineda will roll around first base as Cole Carrick will go get it. Puts on the brakes on the respect of Carrick's arm, will stay at first base with a single.
Yeah, Pineda a little late getting out of the box. By the time he got around first, Carrick had the ball. Smart hold there by Pineda, but a good swing for him. 104 off the bat, right down that right field line. Let's see if the Phils. Look, they're getting hits. They're getting guys on tonight. Let's see if they can finish now and get guys home.
So that's the 6th hit for the Phils in this ball game. And so Hendry Mendez's spot stays hot in the lineup. He had 5 hits in a row. That's 6. With Pineda's base hit as Reyes bats. He singled his first time up. He swings to the first pitch here and beats one fouled on the third baseline. Michael Jones will track it down. Michael Jones's energy level is off the charts. I bet you he sleepwalks. I mean, I don't think he has any rest in his bones.
He's a big coffee guy, so.
Oh, there you go.
There's a lot of caffeine in there, too.
I understand. No balls and a strike to Reyes. Lifts this one straight away, center field. Montgomery will get his first chance in center and he'll make the catch for out number 1 here in the third.
First baseman, Alex.
Bring Alex Pinellas to the plate. Pinellas was at the plate when all the fun was happening, as in pitches getting away from Palma, and Mendez scored, and then Reyes scored. Ended up clearing the bases, and then he struck out to finish the first inning. So Phil's ended up with 4 hits in inning number 1 now that scoring change has happened for DeMartini. Pinellas drives this one right center field. Montgomery going back, looks up, it's off the wall. Pinellas is rolling into second base. Pineda's getting held up at third. It'll be a stand-up double for Alex Pinellas. The Phils continue to pound the baseball.
Alex Pinellas stays red hot with double number 5 since joining Reading. And you go back to the beginning of last week, Pinellas has been amongst the Eastern League leaders in pretty much every statistical category. And he's seeing the ball well right now, and it's really nice to see. And just hope he keeps it up.
7 hits for the Phils now. 2 on, 1 out, and Paul McIntosh will bat. At some point, you got to really start to make Mahoney pay for this. He has been dancing through landmines through 2 innings, and now 3 with 2 on and 1 out. McIntosh with 17 RBIs on the year, ground out to third his first time up. Infield up, ball in the dirt, and another nice block by Palma. Again, he's had 2 that got by him to the backstop, but he's stopped 3 or 4. So the Goats with the infield up. McIntosh hit it down the line his first time up. It was a great backhanded play by Jose Torres. 1 ball and no strikes to the Phils catcher. Inside, ball 2. So good arm in right, good arm in center for the Yard Goats. 2-0 pitch to McIntosh on the outside corner for a called strike. McIntosh thought about pulling the trigger, decided not to. Mahoney comes 2-1. Right back through the middle. Mahoney redirected. It goes into center field. That's going to allow Pineda to score. And here comes Alex Pinellas. It'll be a 2-run single for McIntosh. And the Phils now lead it 4-1.
Baseball is a great game, Bob, isn't it? Ball hit towards the middle, which in Mahoney's mind, he's like, shoot, that ball's going towards the middle. I'm going to try and either glove it or at worst redirect it to my second baseman. But Hill actually had it played pretty well, and he darted towards the middle. So basically where Mahoney redirects it was where Hill was initially standing, and it rolls right by him in the center right field for a base hit. But look, McIntosh still hits it hard, and he gets himself a 2-run single.
RBI number 18 and 19 for Paul McIntosh. He's at first base with 1 out, and Robert Moore at the plate. Robert Moore doubled off the Redner's Event Center his first time up. First pitch to him here is a strike. Moore was just a foot or so short of putting it onto the veranda for the home run, but took the stand-up double instead. This one driven into right center field again. Montgomery going back, and makes the over-the-shoulder catch on the warning track. Fine running catch with his back to the plate by Benny Montgomery for out number 2.
I mean, look, that's a good swing from Robert Moore. He's put a couple of good swings on baseballs, not just tonight, but this week. 100 off the bat, went 348 feet, just hit it to the deepest part of this ballpark, which not many places in this ballpark where you're going to say that, but fortunately for Robert Moore, that's where he went with it.
They are hitting Mahoney hard all night long, and especially in this inning as Verdugo will bat. And that's in the dirt. Palma knocked it down. McIntosh can't advance.
Running 2 for 4 so far tonight with runners in scoring position.
McIntosh at first, 2 outs now. And 1 ball to no strikes on Verdugo, who walked his first time up. Swing and a miss. Went chasing after a breaking ball. Cutter from Mahoney that Verdugo waved at. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. Mahoney delivers, and it's low again. It's 2-1. 9-hole hitter Cade Fergus in the on-deck circle if Verdugo reaches. 2 balls and a strike to Verdugo, who's playing it short tonight for the first time.
56 pitches for Mahoney so far.
2-1 pitch. Lifted foul and out of play. And there's still no action in the Hartford bullpen, even though, as Jake said, Bryant Betancourt, one of their catchers, did go down there to head to the bullpen, but nobody has gotten up as of yet. 2 outs here in the third, 2 balls and 2 strikes to Luis Verdugo with a runner at first base. It's in the dirt again. Knocked down again by Palma. He'll rest easy tonight.
He'll get a good night's sleep. Most amount of hits Mahoney's allowed this year in a game is 10. That came May the 10th against New Hampshire. So he's already at 8 through 3 2/3. Excuse me, 2 2/3.
3 balls and 2 strikes. So McIntosh will be off on the pitch. Up the middle, Torres can't make the grab. McIntosh rounds second. He's going to head to third. They bobble the ball, and now they're going to wave McIntosh home. The throw to the plate is in time. The throw from the shortstop Jorge to Palma, and the tag applied at the plate for the third and final out.
Michael Jones not happy. Talking to home plate umpire Stone Garber. He's not who made the play. Al Padrique's out arguing with Jalen Goodman. That's who made the call. I think is it a blocking the plate argument they had? Because McIntosh had to go around the catcher Palma.
Well, if that's the case, that's the second time they argued that play on blocking it. Al Padrique is still arguing with Jalen Goodman. Again, he's the first base umpire, but in the rotation, he is the umpire who made the call at the plate. And so the Phils get their second man thrown out at the plate, and that will end the third inning. But 2 runs come across. They do it on 3 hits. There was 1 man left. We are through 3, and it's 4-1. Fightin' Phils on top. So the Fightin' Phils bats are smoking tonight. They have 4 runs on 9 hits. And Chuck King hoping that the offense can carry him through for a little bit now as he'll take over in the 4th inning. And Jake Starr will do the same with the play-by-play.
Thank you very much, Bob. Top half of the 4th inning. 4-1 our score. Fightin' Phils on top. As Bob said, King's back out. Jose Torres leads off. First pitch to Torres is taken on the outside corner for a strike. It's 0-1. Torres a solo home run, his first time up back in the second. It's the only run Hartford has scored tonight. The 0-1 is taken for a called strike. It's 0-2 on the outside corner again. Last inning ended with Paul McIntosh being thrown out at home. I believe the Reading coaching staff was arguing blocking of the plate by Roniker Palma, the catcher for Hartford. The 0-2 is a bit high for a ball. It's 1-2. So Reading has their 4 runs, 9 hits tonight, but it could be a lot worse if you're Hartford.
Absolutely.
3 Phillies runners have been thrown out on the base pass tonight. Miller was picked off, and then a couple of guys thrown out trying to score at home. 1-2, swinging a tapper. Actually, no, it's a swing and a miss that goes all the way to the backstop. McIntosh fields it off the backstop, and there will be no play at first. So it will be a strikeout for King, his second, but Torres is aboard on the pass ball off third strike.
Well, that kind of fits into the mold of what's going on here tonight. All kinds of weird and wacky things going on. Lots of balls going to the backstop as well. That's how the Phils got their first 2 runs.
This has been a weird baseball game. You never know what you're going to see when you go to the ballpark each day. Yesterday was a cycle. Today is everything. Braden Ward digs in from the left side. Still no outs, top 4. King moves to the stretch, sets himself up at the letter as the pitch. Swung on, lifted in the air, out towards left. It's not deep.
Reyes
in comes Reyes, and he makes the catch. I think he was waving off Fergus.
All right. I thought he had the arms up. I didn't think he saw it, but he obviously did.
It's always a little scary when you see the arms go out. So 1 out here, Roniker Palma comes up. Also a reminder that every Tuesday, all active military and veterans get $3 off box seats thanks to Berk's Oral Surgery and Dental Implant Center. One out here for Roniker Palma as Torres leads off first. He reached on a strikeout. First pitch is bit down for a ball, 1-0. In South Philadelphia, Big Phil's up 2-1 over the Mets in the bottom half of the second inning. Otto Kemp just roped a 1-out double off the wall in left center field. They got a hanging breaking pitch, and he did not miss it. Next pitch is a ball. It's 2 balls, no strikes.
Mick Abel gave up a first inning home run to Brandon Nimmo and then was able to work out of trouble. Had a clean second inning. Phil scoring 2 runs.
I believe it was a 1-2-3 second inning.
It was indeed. 3 flyouts. Phil put 2 across at the top of at the bottom of the first, and now a runner in scoring position in the second.
2-0. Palma swings, pops it up behind home plate. It'll go out of play foul, and it's 2-2. Took a hop, landed about 5 rows in front of us. Lucky little fan with a red foam finger in his right hand. Has a souvenir to go home with tonight. Palma's 0 for 1 in tonight's game. He grounded out the second his first time up. The pitch, the runner takes off, and the pitch is swung on, hit in the air towards right. Pineda in, makes the catch for an out, throws to first, and they double him up. Torres out at first, Palma flew out to right, and it's a 9-3 double play, and that will retire the side in the 4th. No runs, no hits. Nobody left on base for the Yard Goats. Ahead of the bottom half of the 4th inning. Fightin' Phil's on top. It's 4-1. Klein is proud to be the official transportation provider of the Reading Fightin' Phils. Klein Transportation gets our Phils through all their road trips throughout the 2025 season. For more information, go to kleintransportation.com. So 4-1 our score, bottom half of the 4th inning. Fly Me to the Moon plays over the stadium PA system on this Star Wars night. This song by Count Basie and Frank Sinatra, of course. And it'll be Cade Fergus who leads off the inning. 9-1-2 due up for Reading. And Cade Fergus will lead things off against Jack Mahoney, who's back out for his 4th inning of work. But the Yard Goats do have action.
Victor Juarez up in the Hartford bullpen. one other thing to add to this game is the combined exit velocity for the Fightin' Phils tonight off of Mahoney is off the charts.
First pitch to Fergus, swings, hits one in the air, high towards right center. Carrick over towards the alley. He'll track it down, and the right fielder makes the catch. That's out number 1. And that'll flip the lineup card over for the 3rd time and bring Aiden Miller to the plate.
Fightin' Phils have 9 hits. And again, they're other than I'm trying to think of any of them with cheapies. Maybe the first inning single by Reyes was just kind of slapped the other way. But they have hit the ball hard off of Mahoney.
Pitch to Miller, swinging a ground ball third base line. Backhanded by Torres on the line, fires the first in time. Good play by the third baseman for Hartford. And that's 2 quick outs here in the 4th. And that'll bring Carson DiMartini to the plate.
Well, that's the 2nd time we've seen the arm of Torres in this game. The first one was to McIntosh and was an even tougher play. But he's got a strong arm at third base.
2 outs, DiMartini digs in from the left side. Bottom half of the 4th inning. 4-1, Reading on top. And Mahoney winds and deals. DiMartini swings, fouls it straight back. It's 0-1. So DiMartini now 1 for 2 in tonight's ball game. Originally reached on an error in the first. That was changed to a hit after some further review. And the 0-1. DiMartini will take it 1-1. Ball goes right through the wickets of the catcher, Palma. DiMartini at 262. He's got 3 hits this week, including 2 last night. And the 1-1. DiMartini will take that one down. 2 balls and a strike.
I'm impressed by the number of people from the Red Rays Event Center who have left the air conditioning to watch this game. Just saying.
The sun's going down. It's probably getting pretty comfortable outside.
Good for them.
Here's the 2-1. DiMartini waves and whips at it. It's 2-2. Fastball at 94 from Jack Mahoney. Base is empty, 2 outs, bottom of the 4th. Mahoney had 65 pitches. As Bob said, there is bullpen action for Hartford. And the 2-2. Swing and a miss. DiMartini down on strikes. And for the first time tonight, it's a 1-2-3 inning for Jack Mahoney. Gets his 2nd strikeout. And we'll head to the 5th. Fightin' Phil still on top. It's 4-1. Today's Fightin' Phil's Alumni Report is presented by Deer Country. And let's just talk about the current Phillies game going on right now. We talked about it last inning. Otto Kemp in his first at-bat of the night. He hit a double. Mick Abel, after a tougher first inning, has settled in nicely now in the top half of the 3rd inning. Just allowed a home run to Francisco Lindor, though, to lead off the top half of the 3rd inning. Curtis Fox actually flashed a stat across. The Mets have won 27, it's either 29 or 27 straight games when Lindor is homered. So hopefully that streak ends tonight. Phillies up 3-2, top of the 3rd. So that was our Fightin' Phil's Alumni Report presented by our friends over at Deer Country Farm and Lawn.
Yeah, the 2025 Phils have made that segment for us, the Deer Country Alumni Report, easy. Because every night somebody's a major piece of the puzzle in Philadelphia that came through Reading.
4-1 Reading, top 5. Chuck King's first pitch of the inning is taken for a called strike by Dion Jorge. And it's 0-1. King, after giving up that run in the second, has really settled in nicely to this outing. Just one run through 4 innings on 3 hits. Next pitch is a bit outside for a ball. It's 1-1. Jorge walked his only time up tonight back in the second. King, the righty, works solely out of the stretch, deals home. Swinging a little flare towards shallow center. It's over the head of the second baseman Moore. It drops in for a base hit. So 4th hit tonight for the Yard Goats. Leadoff single. And that'll bring G.J. Hill to the plate.
Yard Goats have had quite a number of those little flares and Texas leaguers over the course of this series. Not to take anything away from what they've done and win the 3 games in a row that they have, but they have had a fair share of flares fall in.
Hill was the first of 2 strikeout victims for Chuck King tonight. First pitch home, Hill squares the bunt, pulls it back, pitches a strike. It's 0-1 to the lefty. King did earn the win a week ago tonight against New Hampshire. Went 6 innings, 3 earned runs, 7 hits. Struck out 5, a season high. And here's the 0-1. It's swung on, hit in the air pretty well towards right. Pineda back, he'll turn, and it's off the top of the wall. Around second towards third goes Jorge. Hold stop there as Pineda did a good job getting it in quickly.
Good job.
So it's a double by G.J. Hill, his 7th, and it's men on second and third for the top of the order.
Good job by Alex Pinellas. The throw back into the infield went over both Moore and Verdugo, and Pinellas was there to back it up just in case and make sure nobody can advance beyond second and third. G.J. Hill, going into this series, was hitting, he's hit 174 coming into today's game. Now he's 1 for 2 with a ton of strikeouts. He struck out his first time up in this one, which is his only strikeout in the 3 games he's played, but he's hit the ball hard.
So that'll bring the top of the order and Cole Carrick up. First pitch is a bit down for a ball. It's 1-0. So runners on second and third, no outs for Hartford. Reading will play the infield back, with the exception of Carson DiMartini, who plays even with the bag at third. 1-0 pitch. Swung on, lifted foul. It's 1-1. Cole Carrick, 1 for 2 in tonight's ball game, a double and a fly out.
He's seen as many pitches in this at bat as he saw in his first 2. He swung at the first pitch, doubled first inning, flew out to center field on the first pitch he saw in the third.
62 pitches for Chuck King so far. Comes set at the letters, and the 1-1. Swinging a tapper foul off the facing of the Phillies dugout on the right side. And it'll go to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Carrick, a 265 hitter, 259 with runners in scoring position this season. Runners get their leads. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, struck him out. Change up out of the zone from King, and Carrick swings right through it. That's strikeout number 3 tonight for King. And with the first out of the inning, that'll bring Juan Guerrero to the plate.
Well, obviously that's a huge strikeout to get Carrick out of the way. He leads them in RBIs with 40. And a golden opportunity for him there with second and third. Still not out of the woods yet.
Infield stays back, still men on second and third. 1 out now. First pitch to Guerrero, swung on, lifted in the air towards right, pretty deep. Back goes Pineda, he sizes it up, will make the catch, edge of the track. Tagging from third is Jorge, he'll score. Hill goes second to third. That is out number 2, and it makes it a 4-2 ball game. An RBI number 20 of the year for Juan Guerrero.
So you do get the second out here, but still you have a runner at third base. So big spot here for Chuck King. That cuts the deficit to 2 now for Hartford, but now with still the runner on third base. Big spot here to get Montgomery, who's struggled in this series, and make sure that that third run stays at third.
So that'll bring Benny Montgomery to the plate. First pitch to him. We'll take that for a called strike, 0-1. Mets just retook the lead in Philly. Juan Soto, a solo home run to right.
Back-to-back-to-back home runs.
Yeah, 4 home runs off Abel tonight, all solo. The 0-1 by King misses outside for a ball, 1-1. action continues in the Hartford bullpen, so kind of think that Mahoney's done. Of course, we'll see, though, once the inning turns the bottom. 1-1, 2 outs to Benny Montgomery. King's pitch. Swing and a miss, 1-2. And in front of a cutter at 87 was Montgomery. He was 1 for 2 in tonight's ball game. Singled back in the third. It was his first hit of the week. 1 for 11, and this is his third game played. Montgomery has had the last couple of nights off after a rough start to the week. 1-2. Low and away, 2-2. Getting the lead off third is G.J. Hill. He's the only base runner with 2 outs here in the fourth. King's ready, fires home. It's swung on, ground ball towards the right side. Moore dives, fields to his feet and to first in time. A great play by the second baseman, Robert Moore, to end the inning and take a run away from the Yard Goats. In the frame for Hartford, 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, 1 man left. Way to the bottom half of the fourth inning. Fightin Phillies still on top. They lead it 4-2. This inning is presented by Cornwall Manor, a unique and charming community nestled on a 190-acre wooded campus with many walking trails, including the Lebanon County Rail Trail. So we go to the bottom half of the fifth inning. Fightin Phil still on top 4-2. And Reading will send 3, 4, and 5 to the plate here in the inning. It'll start with Leandro Pineda. Jack Mahoney is back out, but action does continue in the Hartford bullpen. So you got to think the leash on Mahoney at this point is pretty short. 66 pitches. 85, the most he's thrown in a game this year, so I don't think pitch count really a concern yet, but he has been hit hard tonight. First pitch to Leandro Pineda is taken down for a ball. It's 1-0. Pineda single on his lone at bat tonight, scored a run, and the 1-0 is down for a ball, 2-0. Pineda did not start this game originally, came in when Hendry Mendez was hurt in the first inning. What appeared to be a lower back injury for Mendez. Don't want to speculate any further than that. Next pitch is on the outside corner, 2-1. Mendez kind of collided with Mahoney when trying to score on a wild pitch, and it looks like Mahoney's kind of arms went into the lower back of Mendez, and that's what he was grabbing on the ground after he scored. 2-1. Pineda swings and he fouls it straight down. It's 2-2. Mendez, of course, big night last night, hit for the cycle. First known cycle in our Phil's history. Came last night by Hendry Mendez. Needed a double in the 8th inning, and he hit a line drive to the right center field gap that rolled to the wall and was a double that resulted in a cycle for Hendry Mendez. 2-2 the count to Leandro Pineda, no outs here in the inning. Bottom 4, here's the pitch. Swinging a ground ball towards the middle, backing up on it is Hill. He'll field it from the grass, sidearm flip to first in time. And that is out number 1. And that'll bring Felix Reyes to the plate, who's 1 for 2 tonight.
It's a good adjustment by G.J. Hill as that ball had a couple of in-between hops. And he ended up having to back up, as Jake said, all the way into the outfield grass, but still had enough on the throw to get Pineda at first base.
So Felix Reyes in from the right side. As we said, 1 for 2 in tonight's game. He's a .305 hitter. Here's the pitch, and Reyes takes out for a ball. It's 1-0. He's got 6 home runs, 17 runs driven in this year. This game number 37 for Felix Reyes. Mahoney's set, first base side of the rubber, and the righty fires the 1-0. Reyes will take that one on the outside corner for a called strike. It's 1-1. Reyes, a native of the Dominican Republic, signed with the Phillies in 2020. Now 24 years old. 1-1 is taken a bit outside, 2-1. 4-2, Reading leads. Bottom half of the 5th inning. Game number 5 of 6 against Hartford. And the 2-1. Swinging a line drive. It's a fair ball down the left field line. It'll roll all the way to the corner. Reyes turns first, motors his way towards second. The helmet falls off as always, and he'll stop there with a 1-out double, his 10th of the season. And the Fightin' Phils have a man in scoring position for Alex Pinellas.
Well, another got to be 100 plus off the bat.
101.
Like I said, if you look at the combined exit velocity for the hits tonight for the Phils, that's their 10th hit of the night. They have been hitting rockets throughout the night.
10th hit tonight given up by Jack Mahoney. That will match both a season and career high. Let's see if Pinellas and the Phils can surpass that career high now for Mahoney. Pinellas 1 for 2. He doubled his last time up in the 3rd. And here's the pitch. Pinellas will take that one outside. 1 ball, no strikes.
This just seems like it should be about an 8-2 game right now, and it's only 4-2. Much as the Phils have hit, obviously they've had a couple runners thrown out at the plate. This takes away a little bit of that, but they have hit and hit it hard tonight.
1-0. Pinellas a check swing. Doesn't matter. It's a called strike. It's 1-1. Pinellas up to 286 after his double last time up. 5 doubles, a triple, 3 home runs, and 12 runs driven in. Reyes leads off second. Mahoney fires. And Pinellas will take that at the knees for a called strike. It's 1-2. Pinellas has been one of the best hitters in the Eastern League over the last week and a half. Had 9 RBI last week against New Hampshire, which were the most in the Eastern League for last week. It's a 1 ball, 2 strike count. Checks the runner, the pitch. That's up 2-2. 18th game played for Pinellas. It's pretty much become an everyday staple in the Phils lineup. We'll kind of see what happens with Aiden Miller likely getting back in the field, hopefully as early as tomorrow. 2-2. Pinellas will take that one low and away, 3-2, because DeMartini probably will shift back to third every day, so probably be a Pinellas Beer, can't say platoon because they're both lefties, but
right.
Share time at first, and it wouldn't shock me if one of those two would be the DH most of the nights for whoever's not playing at first. 3-2 the count to Pinellas. Here's the pitch. Swing, and he fights one off and lifts it out of play foul left side. Count stays full.
Well, Pinellas' bat has certainly come around over the course of the last week, as Jake said, and when you got a bat and you can make things happen, they're going to find some place to put you in the lineup. If it's at first base, if it's a DH, whatever, they're going to find somehow to get that bat in the lineup.
Hit .257 with Worcester before he was released by Boston. 3-2 is swung on. Line drive, left field line. That is down fair, and it'll one-hop the wall. Reyes jogs around third. He'll score easily. Pinellas the second with his second double of the night, and the Fightin' Phils now take a 5-2 lead.
Well, stay hot, Alex Pinellas, as he plates him a run again, this time with another double. And unlike the others that have been rockets, they just kind of served that one down the third base line on a pitch out away from him, and it just caught chalk, and that's all it needed. It's also going to be end of night as Bobby Meacham will make the walk to the mound. Jack Mahoney's night is over.
82nd and final pitch thrown tonight by Jack Mahoney. The righty goes 4 1/3, allows a career high 11 hits. and he'll give way to the bullpen with the Argots down 5-2. We'll have this new arm out of the Alvernia University Golden Wolves bullpen when we return after this. So Reading has got another in the inning. They lead 5-2, bottom 5. And a new pitcher in out of the Alvernia University Golden Wolves bullpen. It's Victor Juarez seeing the Fightin' Phils for the second time this week.
15th time on the season. Numbers in terms of wins and losses, great. 4-1. ERA, however, a 4.54 in 33 and 2/3 innings. 30 hits, 17 runs scored against him. 35 strikeouts and just 9 walks. He's also surrendered 4 home runs. Most of the guys coming out of the bullpen for Hartford have had pretty good strikeout to walk numbers.
So Hull inherited a runner on second from Jack Mahoney, who went 4 1/3, gave up a career-high 11 hits, walked 2, struck out a pair. Currently on the hook for 5 runs, all of which will be earned. But you can't close the line quite yet on Mahoney because Pinellas on second base is still his responsibility. Juarez has inherited 1 runner this year and did not allow him to score, so pretty unfamiliar territory for Juarez, pitching with a man on base when entering the game. Paul McIntosh to the plate, 1 for 2 tonight. He had a 2-run single his last time up in the 3rd. Alex Pinellas leads off second as Hill shades towards the bag at second. And the first pitch, and McIntosh will take a slider for a called strike. It's 0-1, clip the top of the strike zone.
The back-to-back doubles in this inning with Reyes and Pinellas. That's 5 of the 11 hits now for the Phils are doubles in this one.
It's been a lot of extra base hits for the Phils the last couple of weeks. They lead the league in home runs since the start of June. The 0-1 is been outside for a ball 1-1. I know the triple number 5 since the start of last week. I've not had a chance to look at the doubles, but I'm willing to bet that's probably up there too.
Yeah, I mentioned that to you last night, how many triples they've had in the last week and a half or so. And
3 of those 5 have come from Hendry Mendez. 1-1. McIntosh will take another slider once again, top of the zone for a strike, and it's 1-2.
Yeah, I think what's funny is a couple of them have come from Felix Reyes, and Felix Reyes has 2 triples on the season. Aiden Miller has none. Go ahead and try and get that bet somewhere.
It's nothing with triples. It's a lot of times it's just, I don't say luck,
Takes
but
a funky bounce.
Yeah, or where the ball's hit.
Right.
1-2. McIntosh will take, pitch on the outside part. It's 2-2. They appeal. Jalen Goodman at first says no swing. And this ballpark especially because it's not a huge outfield.
Right.
So you either got to get a really good roll and bounce off the event center, or you got to tuck one down the right field line. Now, was it Hill last night or 2 nights ago that tried to take third on a ball down the left field line and was thrown out?
Correct.
2-2 the count to McIntosh, the pitch. Another slider, misses out. It's 3-2 to the right-handed bat.
Yeah, if you hit it down the right field corner, you can run. You can really run. The problem is everything seems to get stuck underneath a pad down that right field corner a lot.
It's happened a few times.
It has.
3-2 the count to Paul McIntosh. 1 out, bottom 5. Reading leads by 3 as Pinellas trots off second. Hill trying to keep him close. Here's the pitch. McIntosh swinging a line drive, base hit into left field. Pinellas had to hold for a second, so he'll go just to third and stop there. But it's a second hit tonight for Paul McIntosh, and the Fightin' Phils put men on the corners with one out for Robert Moore.
Well, another bullet off the bat of a Fightin' Phil. And as Jake said, it was just close enough from the angle that Pinellas was at second base that he couldn't tell how close Torres was to it. So he had to stop. But with one out, that's the right call. You don't want to get doubled up in that situation. Now the inning's over with. So he's at third base now, runners at the corners, and still only one out. Still a fly ball, scores a run.
See what Hartford does defensively here. Looks like the middle infielders will play back to turn 2. Torres about even with the bag at third. Cordova holds the runner at first. It's corners, one out for Moore. First pitch, and he'll take it down 1-0. Robert Moore 1 for 2 in tonight's ball game.
Again, you got a real good arm in right and a very good arm in center as well. And not great speed with Pinellas at third base.
Cole Carrick has 12 outfield assists this year in right field. Moore swings, line drive towards the right center field gap. That'll score a run. Heading to third goes McIntosh. Moore's around first towards second. McIntosh gets the wave home as they had some issues with it in the outfield. And it's a 2-run double for Robert Moore, his second double of the night. And the Fightin' Phils lead it 7-2.
Well, this feels a lot more like this game should now that it's 7-2. But a line drive off the bat of Moore. Once it went over G.J. Hill's glove at second base. Everybody's running. Paul McIntosh was picking him up and laying him down. And as a result of that, Montgomery was not able to get there to cut it off before it got to the wall. And Michael Jones started pumping that arm to get him to come home. And Montgomery had a little bit of trouble picking it up. And so ultimately no problem for McIntosh to score. Turns into a 2-run double.
It is the 4th 2-double game for Robert Moore this year. Here's Verdugo. He swings the first offering, and he'll slice it foul down the right field line and foul 0-1. So Running's at 13 hits tonight in the bottom half of the 5th inning. Fightin' Phil's season high in hits is 15. So they are very much tracking for that.
What's their season high at doubles?
That was the next thing. 6 doubles. Season high is 7. So they're also tracking well for that mark. 0-1 to Verdugo, swing and a miss, 0-2. Of course, still a lot of baseball left to play. The Fightin' Phils finding a way to continue to tack on tallies here. They're 5 for 7 with men in scoring position tonight. I know that's a number that the skipper is going to be happy about.
They also have everybody in the lineup, but the 9-hole hitter, Cade Fergus, who's on deck, has a hit as well. So they're spreading up and down the lineup.
Well, find a way to change that hopefully here very soon.
Point well taken.
0-1 is taken low and away. 1-1 to Luis Verdugo. Verdugo's been aboard twice tonight. He walked in the second, doubled back in the third. Robert Moore leads off second. He's having himself a great night. 1-2. Verdugo swinging a ground ball towards the shortstop, Jorge. Moore retreats back to second, and Jorge goes to first. That's out number 2. And that'll bring Cade Fergus to the plate.
Robert Moore scrambling to get back. The rule of thumb is when you're on second base, if the ball's in front of you, stay put. If it's behind you, then you can head to third base. But Robert Moore was almost for a second in no man's land, but he had to scramble to get back before G.J. Hill could get there. Jorge made the right call, throwing it to first base. So Moore's now at second with 2 out.
So Cade Fergus in, Moore on second. As Bob said, 2 outs in the 5th. And Fergus swings the first pitch. Ground ball fair, left field line towards the corner. Moore circles, third hole score. Cade Fergus can trot to second base, and the Fightin' Phils get another. It's 8-2.
Well, now everybody's been on part of the party with Cade Fergus getting involved, and now you've got your 7th double of the night as well to tie the season high. So the Phils have just finally got this game to a point where it felt like for a while. Again, the couple guys getting thrown at home, it just felt like they had a bigger lead than the 2-run lead that they had at the beginning of this inning. But they have broken this thing open a little bit here. And again, double after double after double. And the beauty of all of that is every time that happens, you still have another runner in scoring position.
So 8-2 our score. Aiden Miller up, Fergus on second. The pitch, Miller takes it's 1-0. So everyone in the lineup has a hit tonight for the Fightin' Phils. And it's the bottom half of the 5th inning. It's the first time that has happened since last July, the 24th, against New Hampshire, when everyone in the lineup had a hit. 1-0 is there for a strike. It's 1-1.
Technically, they've had 10 guys get a hit because both Mendez and Pineda both have a hit.
Yeah.
with Pineda having to take over from Mendez.
Ball and a strike to Miller, who's 1 for 2 tonight. He's also walked. The pitch, Miller swings, sky-high fly ball right. Carrick has it sized up in right. He'll trot in, loses his hat, but makes the catch, and that will retire the side here in the 5th. But it was a good one. 8 men in total come to the plate for the Phils. They scored 4 runs. They did it on 5 hits, no errors, and 1 man was left on base. We will head to the 6th inning. Fightin Phillies bats, yeah, they're rolling tonight. It is 8-2. Top half of the 6th inning, and established in 1928, the Manor Golf Club is one of the oldest public courses in eastern PA. It's located between Philly, Lancaster, and Allentown in Sinking Spring. It offers a true test of golf and a championship-style course. Visit themanorgolfclub.com for more info. So like we said, top 6, Reading leads 8-2 after putting up 4 runs in the bottom half of the 5th inning. And Chuck King is back out for his 6th inning of work, and he will get 4, 5, and 6 of manager Bobby Meacham's Yard Goats lineup, starting with Jose Cordova.
There's a chance for King to give the Phils a little bit of length here now that they've got a cushion. He's at 70 pitches.
Yeah, 70. I mean, barring a quick one, it wouldn't shock me if this is his final inning of work.
Right. You would think that 6 innings would be a good night's work for Chuck King to
First pitch to Cordova is a strike 0-1.
turn things over the bullpen.
King, season high is 6. He's done it 3 times. All 3 instances have come in his last 5 starts. 0-1, swung on, ground ball left side. Verdugo charges it, fields it. The shortstop throw to first is in time. Nice play by Luis Verdugo, and that'll be out number 1. Here comes Jose Torres.
Yeah, almost a little bit of a collision there between DeMartini and Verdugo, but nice job of them to avoid that. And Verdugo with the off-balance throw.
King also looking for his 2nd straight quality start, his 3rd overall this year. Of course, the parameters for a quality start is 6 innings, 3 earned runs or less. Right now he's at 5 1/3, 2 allowed. First pitch, Torres, ground ball through the whole left side. That'll be a base hit into left. So 6th hit of the night for the Yard Goats. 2nd tonight for Torres. That'll bring Braden Ward to the plate, who's 0 for 2.
Oh, it's a base hit. Hartford being very aggressive with King, not thinking about driving up his pitch total at all, but they're down by 6 runs. They're up there swinging at what they like.
King really turned himself into a workhorse. He's someone who, it's basically getting to the point, every time he gets the ball, you expect 5 or 6 innings out of him, which in this day and age of baseball, especially on the minor league side, first pitch, slowly hit, ground ball 3rd. DeMartini was already in. He fields it, charges, throw to 1st, and the 3rd baseman's throw is in time. That's out too. Torres up to 2nd for Palma, but what I was saying was that in this day and age of baseball, especially on the minor league side, to get a guy through 5 consistently, let alone 6 consistently now. Oh, by the way, he wasn't even a starting pitcher before last year. And by the way, he didn't even pitch in professional baseball for 3 years before last year.
Yeah, I mean, this season started, Chuck King's role was going to be kind of the long man out of the bullpen.
First pitch also a ball to Palma.
And instead, he's made himself a regular in the rotation.
Here's the pitch, and that is over for a called strike, 1-1. And it's been fun to watch, right? Like, I know there's been some starts that haven't been pretty at times, but he's someone who's going to get the ball every 5 days or every 6 days, and you know the effort Chuck King is going to give you. 1-1 is out, 2 balls and 1 strike. And look, he's someone who, he's not taking this opportunity for granted, right? Like, he was out of baseball, was coaching, and he's like, I want to get back into it. Threw some bullpens with Blake Elsinore, single A for the Padres, and they're like, what are you doing? Like, you should be playing pro baseball, and here he is. 1-2, swung on, fly ball foul, it's 2-2. It's an incredible story for King, and he's strike away and out away from 6 innings, 2 runs tonight, if this is it for him.
Well, Hartford helped him out a lot. He got 2 outs and threw 3 batters on 4 pitches. Now Palma has extended this at bat a little bit with a couple of foul balls.
Pitch home, swung on, flared right center. Fergus over towards the gap. The center fielder runs it down and makes the catch to retire the side. So that is it for Chuck King. Another admirable effort for the righty in this 6th inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left. We will head to the home half of the 6th inning. Fightin' Phillies lead it 8-2. This day in baseball town history is presented by Body Zone Sports and Wellness, the official workout facility of the R Phils. 12 years ago today, June 21st, 2013, at Reading, Michael Franco blasts his first home run in a Fightin' Phils uniform. A solo shot in the 4th inning of the Phils' 5-3 win over Richmond.
Yeah, Michael Franco was going to be a superstar in the Phils organization. And
I think he's still playing. Maybe, I don't know if it's in Mexico or if it's over in Asia, but I believe I've seen he's still playing somewhere. Nonetheless, bottom 6, 8-2, Reading leads. 2-3-4 up. Carson DiMartini, the first to face Victor Juarez here in the bottom of the 6th. Franco has not played in the major since 2022. First pitch to DiMartini, swung on, hit in the air pretty well. Deep left, back goes Guerrero. He's at the track, at the wall, and he'll make the catch. Carson DiMartini misses his first AA home run by a matter of a couple feet. Hit it well, though, 98 off the bat, 348 feet. And that'll bring Leandro Pineda to the plate.
yeah, ball just kept carrying. The wind is blowing up that way a bit, so that helped the cause for DiMartini, just not quite enough. That power is there. He had 8 home runs in his time at Jersey Shore. And those home runs will come here in Reading for sure.
Michael Franco's playing in Japan the last couple of years. First pitch to Pineda is over for a strike, going 1. He's split the last couple of years between, I guess, their minor leagues and their major leagues. I think one of their leagues I know is called like the Japanese Eastern League, which I always found kind of ironic, considering we are in the Eastern League. The 0-1 is down, 1-1.
But there was a great anticipation for Michael Franco when he was coming up through the minor leagues and when he got to Philadelphia. And it was some lean years in Philly when he got up, but he never really was able to take it to another level. And then he quickly kind of became, I would say, a punching bag, but because he wasn't the superstar they hoped.
1-1, Pineda swings, fouls it right side, 1-2. And I remember it was 2019, the year the Phillies signed Harper. Remember they started the year, they bumped Franco down to the 8 hole in the lineup. And this was still when the pitcher could hit. And it was like, hey, like, you no longer have to be the guy. You can just be a piece.
Right.
And he started that year really well, and then kind of things fell off from there for Franco. Pineda calls time. 1 ball, 2 strikes to him. Juarez ready at the letters, and here's the pitch. Pineda checks swing on a pitch shot. They will appeal. Stone Garver, the third base umpire, says no swing, so it's 2-2. Reading does have bullpen action. Daniel Harper is up and throwing. So it appears that Chuck King's night is done, and it was a very good one at that for him. 2-2, up 3-2. Pineda 1 for 2 tonight. Singled and scored in his first at-bat in the third. 3-2, Pineda swings and a little squibber foul, third base line. Michael Jones, the third base coach tonight, making a nice play and flips it into the 67 club. Michael Jones coaching third, Carl Ellison at first. Al Pedrique, the manager, is coaching from the dugout tonight. Bit of a different perspective for the skipper. 3-2, Pineda swings, high fly ball in the infield. Both middle infielders converge on it. It's Jorge, the shortstop, who makes the catch, pretty much standing on top of the second base bag. So that's out number 2, and that'll bring Felix Reyes to the plate.
So based on 8 runs and 14 hits, are we safe to assume that Al will be in the dugout tomorrow as well?
We'll have to ask him. And I know you brought up obviously there's the mojo thing, and I think there's part of that too. I think the other part of it is too, you got Michael Jones in his, I don't know, exact age, mid-30s. Carl Ellison, late 20s, early 30s. First pitch to Reyes, swings, fly ball right, tracked down by Carrick. He'll make the catch. I'll finish the start real quick with 2 young coaches who, I'll tell you right now, both incredibly bright futures in this industry. Jones been doing it for a little bit. Ellison in his second year, but I think a lot of times the Phillies want to see these guys in different situations. They're developing coaches just as much as they're developing players.
100%.
So nights like this, putting Jones at third, Carl at first, and Carl Ellison did third last year.
Right.
It's kind of developing them and giving them a shot to do something else. But with that, 6th inning is over. No runs, no hits, and nobody left on base. The Fightins go down in order. We will head to the 7th, 2/3 of the way home here in Baseball Town. Fightin Phils lead it 8-2. Top half of the 7th inning is presented by White Star Travel, the official group sponsor of the Reading Fightin Phils. Visit whitestartours.com for more. So top 7, as we said, 8-2, Reading on top of the Yard Goats, and it's a new pitcher in for the Yard Phils. Daniel Harper enters. Harper in relief of Chuck King, making just his 3rd appearance of the year, his 2nd since coming off the injured list when a scoreless inning 3 nights ago. And struck out a pair of Yard Goats. First pitch from Harper is a ball. It's 1-0. Harper missed a little over 2 months with a right shoulder impingement. Made 4 rehab appearances with Clearwater over the last handful of weeks. The 1-0 is out for a ball. It's 2-0. Sinker at 94 from Daniel Harper. Dion Jorge's the batter. He has walked, singled, and scored a run in tonight's game. Next pitch is swung on and missed. Doesn't matter, though. It was a called strike. It's 2-1. Harper's ready at the letters. Here's the 2-1 home. Swung on, lifted foul right side, 2-2. Four-seam fastball at 95 from Harper. Had a chance to talk to Harper the other day after his first outing. Just said he felt really good, felt great to be back, and feels healthy, pretty much 100%. He's ready to roll. Here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss, struck him out. Sinker 94, top of the zone. And Dion Jorge swings right through it for out number 1. And before G.J. Hill steps in, let's take a look at Chuck King's line tonight. Another quality start for him, second straight one. 6 innings, 6 hits, pair of runs, both earned, 1 walk and 3 strikeouts, as King just continues to become a reliable arm in this running rotation. Hill in from the left side, and the first pitch is swung on and dribbled foul, where the first base coach Luis Lopez will scoop it up, toss it into the Savage dugout suite.
I think Daniel Harper could be a big piece of the puzzle for the Phils if he stays healthy in half number 2. I know going into the season, thought was he could be a major piece at the end of games for the Phils. 0-1
is out, 1-1. Harper, someone the Phillies regard pretty highly. It was selected to their spring breakout roster back in March. The group of players who played the Pirates, the Phillies kind of view as their group of top prospects. 1-1 outside, 2 balls and a strike.
I mean, the role of the closer in the game of baseball is almost obsolete anymore, but they're still around. But Phils have tried a number of different guys to have that late inning role.
2-1 is down again, 3 balls, 1 strike. Harper tried to go to the changeup.
They've used Nelson Alvarez in that role. They tried John McMillan for a little while. Tommy McCullum has kind of assumed that role at this point in time.
3-1, swung on, 1 hop ground ball, speared by Pinellas. He'll take it to the bag himself from first. That's out number 2, and that'll bring Cole Carrick to the plate. Also, you brought up John McMillan. I wanted to follow up on that point. McMillan, who left the game the other night early, was working out on the field today, has not been put on the injured list, so obviously that is a good sign.
It was a weird spot because he pitched an inning, then came back out for the next inning and threw his first warm-up pitch, and all of a sudden they brought the trainers and Al Padrique came out and they took him out.
Maybe it was something completely separate.
Right, just didn't feel right.
First pitch to Carrick, swinging and a miss, 0-1. And look, these guys know their bodies better than anybody.
Absolutely, something doesn't feel right.
You got to trust your gut.
Yep. Yeah, more often than not, if you just try to play through it, especially if it's your arm, it's not going to go well.
0-1 the count to Carrick. The pitch, swinging and a miss, 0-2. I asked Harper, how was rehab? And he's like, it was rehab. And I think the thing he said, he's like, the thing with rehab is that you have early mornings, so your days are done by noon. So he's like, the biggest challenge for me was finding what to do the rest of my day between finishing rehab as that pitch is fouled and then going to bed at night.
Yeah, it's not like you could double up so you get back faster. I mean, you're going to do what you got to do.
Yeah, you can't go lift 4 times.
Yeah, exactly.
No balls, 2 strikes, couple of outs here to Cole Carrick, top 7. 8-2 is our score. Next pitch, swing and a miss, struck him out. Couple of strikeouts in a 1-2-3 inning for Daniel Harper. Yard goats go down quietly in the 7th. It's time to stretch on this Saturday night here in Baseball Town. Be back in the bottom half of the 7th inning. Fightin' Phil's on top. It's 8-2.
Hey, thanks a lot, James. It's 7th inning stretch here, Baseball
This inning is brought to you by Swartz Culleton PC. Have you or a loved one been injured? Get justice. Call Swartz Culleton today at 1-800-JUSTICE. Bottom 7, 8-2, Reading leads. New pitcher in for the Argoats. It's the left-handed arm, Sam Weatherly.
Well, despite rumors to the contrary, he's making his first appearance of this series. His 23rd of the year. He's 0-1 with a 4.55 earned run average, 27 2/3 innings pitched, 18 hits. He's given up 14 runs, 39 strikeouts, and 22 walks. Those are some really high numbers in both categories. He's also surrendered 3 home runs.
So Alex Binelas just having himself a good night, leads off. 2 for 3, couple of doubles, runs scored, RBI. So as we said, 8-2 running on top. Final line on Victor Juarez, inning and 2/3, 3 hits, 2 runs, both earned. No walks, no strikeouts. Jack Mahoney, 4 1/3, 11 hits, a career high. 6 runs all earned, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. So Binelas in. Here's the first pitch to him. And Binelas will take that inside corner for a strike. It's 0-1.
And I made the comment about Weatherly because we thought he came in last night. Weatherly wears 22, and another lefty, Mason Green, wears 27. And we had him boxed up.
0-1, outside, 1-1. So Mahoney's 6 runs allowed today. They're a season high, and they match a career high. He last did that April 26th of last year with Spokane against San Jose. I think Juan Soto just hit a ball to the moon. Yeah, he just put that one well into the second deck. His second home run of the night. Next pitch to Binelas is the ball, 2-1. I just looked down and the camera didn't even cut away from him, and he's just walking towards first, staring at the ball.
So 5 solo home runs for the Mets tonight.
That would be correct. Top 5 in Philly. Mets lead 5-3. 2 on the count here to Binelas, the pitch. He swings, hits one in the air, left field line. It'll go out of play, foul. And Guerrero had no idea where that was in left field. He was standing straight up, and he's like, I don't see it. But lucky for him, it was well foul. It is that awkward twilight time of the night where the ball kind of gets lost with the lights and the twilight sky mixing. 2-2 is out, 3-2. I believe, is today the summer solstice?
Good question. Yesterday was the longest day of the summer.
Yesterday was
summer solstice. The first day of summer was yesterday.
10:42 yesterday, p.m., was the official summer solstice. 3-2, Binelas swing and a slowly hit ground ball short. Charging Jorge. He field sets himself, fires the first. Binelas retired. Out number 1. So happy first full day of summer, everybody.
I made this argument yesterday morning with Mike Keller. I think that if it's going to be the longest day of the year, it should be a Friday. I mean, if you don't you want the longest day of the year to be a Friday?
I just want to say, every day's 24 hours, Bob.
Well, just saying, it's the longest day of the year.
The day with the most sunlight.
All right. It should be a Friday. Take advantage of it.
Paul McIntosh in. He's 2 for 3 tonight. Couple of hits, couple of RBI, and a run scored. Pitch to him. He swings, hits one a mile high, shallow center. Out is Jorge. In is Montgomery. And also in comes Guerrero from left. I don't think Montgomery ever saw it. So the left footer Guerrero ran all the way over and pretty much saved everybody. So he makes the catch for out number 2, and that'll bring Robert Moore up.
Fortunately for Montgomery and the Yard Goats, that ball was in the air for a long time and allowed Guerrero to close in on it. Because to Jake's point, Benny Montgomery, under normal circumstances, would have made that catch easily, but he obviously did not see it. And fortunately, Guerrero had a different angle on it coming from left field and was able to pick it up and make the catch.
So that'll bring Robert Moore to the plate. 2 for 3 tonight, 2 doubles. And the first pitch, he swings and misses 0-1.
So a couple balls in the air in this inning, and both of them lost. Guerrero lost one, but fortunately for him, it was foul. Montgomery lost one, but fortunately for him, Guerrero was there to pick it up.
I think Daniel Harper is going to get a second inning. Bullpen's quiet.
Yep.
0-1. Moore takes it down, 1-1.
Yeah, nobody up in the Phil's bullpen.
Moore is batting from the right side tonight. Well, for the first time tonight. It's the first time that he'll see a lefty pitcher. One. Down low. 2 balls, 1 strike. Moore up to 13 doubles on the season. He had 20 last year, so he's pacing to surpass that number. He's at 222. He's got 24 RBI. 2-1. Swinging a ground ball, chopped third. Fielded on a short hop by a charging Torres. His stroke corner to corner in time. And Moore is retired. So second straight inning, the Phils go down in order. We will head to the top of the 8th. Fightin' Phils on top. They lead it 8-2. All right, top half of the 8th inning. 8-2 Reading lead. 6 outs for the Phils to get. And try and get them up here in the broadcast booth. I'll give it back to Bob McCool to take over on play-by-play for the rest of the way.
Thank you very much, Jake. Daniel Harper back out for a second inning of work. My Missing Restaurant and Bakery offers 2 great dining options, a menu with locally sourced delicious choices, and a buffet for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Don't miss their homemade bakery items, including challah bread, danishes, cupcakes, and a variety of cakes, pies, and donuts. Why Missing Restaurant and Bakery, owner Oz Chaudhry, are proud 2025 Fightin' Phils team feed partners. Juan Guerrero will lead it off for the Yard Goats. 8 runs on 14 hits, no errors for the Phils. 2 runs on 6 hits, no errors for the Yard Goats. Guerrero 0 for 2 on the night. Did drive in a run with a sacrifice fly back in the 5th inning. And the first pitch from Harper is outside for a ball. Harper at a 1-2-3 7th inning. And back out here for the 8th. And the second pitch also misses outside. It's 2-0. Like a little bit of movement stirring in the Phils bullpen. Just in case, they'll probably get somebody up. Tommy McCullum is up. Has not yet begun to throw. 2-0 pitch from Harper. Guerrero swings and lines that one into the third base grandstand. And a nice catch by a fan out there. 2 balls and a strike to Guerrero, to be followed by Benny Montgomery and then Jose Cordova for the Yard Goats here in the 8th. And that 2-1 pitch is low. It's 3-1. This one is fouled straight back, and now the count is full. Chuck King went 6 innings for the Phils tonight. Gave up 6 hits and 2 runs. 1 walk, 3 strikeouts. So an economy of pitches for Chuck King tonight. Got through 6 innings with just under 80 pitches thrown. Daniel Harper taking over the 7th, as I said, and now here in the 8th. He's 3-2 now on Guerrero. And now time is called, I believe, by Paul McIntosh. And now McIntosh going to go out and have a conversation with Harper. So I don't know if this was about some indecision on what they wanted to throw here, 3-2. Just an unusual spot for the timeout. Game at Citizens Bank Park has now reached the bottom of the 5th inning. 5-3 Mets on top of the Phils. New York Mets have gone long ball tonight. 5 solo home runs for New York. 3-2 pitch, lifted foul, not a play. Juan Soto's gone deep twice. Brandon Nimmo has gone deep twice for the Mets. Francisco Lindor also going deep. They went back-to-back-to-back at one point in time off of Mick Abel. It gave him a 4-3 lead. And then Soto's second made it 5-3. Phil's batting in the bottom of the 6th inning. 3-2 pitch. Lifts another one foul as Guerrero stays alive and making Harper work. I said bottom of the 6th in Philly. It's the bottom of the 5th at Citizens Bank Park. 3-2 pitch coming again from Harper. Over for a call. It's D-right 3. So Daniel Harper comes back, gets him on a cutter, and Guerrero heads back to the dugout. Third strikeout now for Daniel Harper. One out here in the 8th. That'll bring Benny Montgomery to the plate. Montgomery 1 for 3 with an infield single so far on the night. 1 for 12 now in the series. The first pitch from Harper to Montgomery's outside, ball 1. One-0 pitch is lifted down the right field line and slicing foul. Pineda will give it chase, and fortunately for him, it finds its way into the pool deck. So it's 1 ball and 1 strike to Montgomery. Daniel Harper just turned 26 at the beginning of June. 6'4", and he's 225 pounds. A native of Merriam, Kansas. Played his college baseball at the University of Kentucky. Comes with his 1-1 pitch. Montgomery lifts this one into shallow right field, falling fast, and it's going to find its way on the green grass. And another Texas League single this week for the Yard Goats as Benny Montgomery gets himself a base hit. They have had, I can't tell you how many balls fall like that in this series. Right in a perfect spot between Pineda, Moore, and Pinellas for a base hit for Montgomery, his second hit of the night. He's a 1-out base runner for Jose Cordova. Cordova 0 for 3 after hitting 2 home runs in last night's game. Cordova, the first baseman tonight, was the DH last night for the Yard Goats. Tried to check his swing here, but did not. It's no balls and a strike. Montgomery lead off of first. The 0-1 pitch. Outside, ball 1. Again, keeping my eye on that bullpen for the Phils. McCullum has not yet begun to throw. He's just kind of pacing around on the pitcher's mound. 1 ball and 1 strike. Harper at 27 pitches right now. 1-1 pitch. Tried to check his swing again, but did not. Swung through it, so it's 1-2. And now Cordova will call time at the plate. Fightin' Phils and Yard Goats will wrap up this series tomorrow night at 5:15. Back at the ballpark. Great giveaway item tomorrow and a new one for the kids. The Reading Hot Dog jersey basketball version of that jersey. 1-2 pitch to Cordova. Try to get him to chase. He did not. It's 2-2. Montgomery not showing any signs of stealing a base here, down 6 runs. 2-2 pitch. Lifts another one into shallow right field. This time, Pineda will get there. He'll make the catch for out number 2. So Montgomery back to first base now for Jose Torres. And with that, Al Padrique will come out. So I stand corrected. It looks like Tommy McCullum had warmed up and was just waiting for the opportunity for the call, and he's going to get that call, and it's going to come with 2 outs. So Daniel Harper, right at the 30 pitch mark, sees his night come to an end. He ends up getting 5 of the 6 batters he faced. The only one who got a hit off him was that bloop single, but Daniel Harper's night is done. The call of the bullpen will tell you about Tommy McCullum coming into the ball game when we come back on the Reading Fightin' Phils Radio Network.
Pitcher number
So as we said, going to break, the Alberta University Golden Wolves call the bullpen, brings in the big right-hander, Tommy McCullum, for the Fightin' Phils.
13th outing for McCullum, 0-1, a 1.56 ERA, 17 and a third innings pitch, 14 strikeouts, and 1 walk for McCullum this year.
So Daniel Harper hit right at 30 pitches, and so the Phils make the decision to get him out of there and bring McCullum in to try to get the final out of this inning, and then obviously would stay out there, we assume, to get the final 3 outs in the ninth. At least that's the plan, I would assume. Right now, we'll see Jose Torres step to the plate. Again, Benny Montgomery's at first base with a single. 2 outs here in the 8th. And McCullum's first batter is Jose Torres, who swings at the first pitch, comes up empty. Torres with a solo home run back in the 2nd inning. That made it a 2-1 game at the time. He's also got a single in this game. He's been on base actually all 3 times. Even the one time he struck out, he still was on a wild pitch. He pops this one straight up behind the plate. McIntosh and Benellis there. McIntosh, the catcher, will make the catch. He made it an adventure, but he made the catch for out number 3. So Tommy McCullum comes in, throws 2 pitches, and ends up getting the final out. For the Goats in the 8th, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left. We'll head to the bottom of the 8th. 8-2, Fightin' Phils on top. So we head to the bottom half of the 8th inning. Sam Weatherly back out there for the Yard Goats. He will face Luis Verdugo, Cade Ferguson in the top of the order, and Aiden Miller. Verdugo 1 for 2 on the night, walked and doubled so far in tonight's ball game. Weatherly, the lefty, face 3 right-handers in this, in Verdugo, Fergus, and Miller. And the first pitch to Verdugo is a swing and a miss. And the second one is outside. It's 2-0. Taking a look at tonight's team leaders presented by Pennsylvania Army National Guard. Let's take a look at the double column where the Phils have filled that column up tonight. But the team leaders, Leandro Pineda and Hendry Mendez, are not part of that party. They have a couple of singles, no doubles, but they are tied for team lead in doubles with 12 because, of course, Mr. Doubles is now doing that for the Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs. And that being Keaton Anthony, who had, I think, 22 when he got promoted from Reading up to Lehigh Valley, and he's continued to hit with the Iron Pigs as well. 2-1 pitch to Verdugo, lined into the right center field gap, falling fast, and the Fightin' Phils will join the Texas League party. It gets away from Carrick. Verdugo's trying to try for second, and he is safe. Luis Verdugo beats the tag and will be at second base with, I guess, will be a double. It'll be a base hit for sure.
Yeah, a lot riding on this. Nonetheless, it is the 15th hit of the night for Reading, which is will tie a season high. For Verdugo, though, if it is a double, that'll be a new season high in doubles for Reading, so we'll see when it gets rolled.
Well, watching the replay, Carrick didn't miss it. It just took a sideways hop.
It's a double.
Yeah. It just on seeing it, seeing it live, I thought perhaps it just got away from him, but then I saw the replay, and it took a sideways hop. So a double for Luis Verdugo. That's hit number 15 and a new season high of 8 doubles for the Fightin' Phils. With Cade Fergus batting, he ropes one down the third base line. That's just foul. It was almost another one. He has one of the doubles. It was an RBI double back in the 5th when the Phils opened this game up a little bit with a 4 spot. They put 2 across in the 1st, 2 across in the 3rd, and then 4 in the 5th. 8-2 Fightins on top. Runner at second base, nobody out, bottom of the 8th. Weatherly takes a look back at Verdugo, comes to the plate, misses way outside. Philadelphia Phillies got an RBI single from Alec Boehm to get a run across in the bottom of the 5th. They make it a 5-4 game as that game heads to the 6th at Citizens Bank Park. Game 2 of that 3-game series. 1-1 pitch coming to Fergus. Fouls it straight back. It's 1-2. Game tomorrow between the Phils and the Mets is also a night game. That is a, I guess, 7:15, 7:30 start. It's a nationally televised game. You can listen to Philadelphia Phillies baseball on our flagship, WEEU, 8:30 a.m. here in Reading. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Cade Fergus. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Fergus goes down swinging. That is out number 1 here in the 8th. And it flips the lineup around for Aiden Miller. Again, Aiden Miller returning to the Phils lineup for the first time since June 11th. He is 1 for 3 on the night. He's been on base twice, a single and a walk. Verdugo with a good size lead off of second. Pitch to the plate. Just misses ball 1.
So running 8 doubles tonight. First time they've had 8 doubles in a game since June 29th, 2018. And it's just the 4th time the Phils have had 4 doubles in a game since 2005.
Wow. 1-0 pitch to Miller. There for a called strike. So lots of landmarks over the course of the last 24 hours. Of course, Hendry Mendez with the first believed cycle in Reading Phillies history last night. Pitch to Miller, rips it deep to left field, fair or foul, it hooks foul. Up and onto the deck from Aiden Miller, but he pulled it foul. So it's 1 ball and 2 strikes to Aiden Miller with a runner at second base and 1 out. Miller serving as the DH in the lineup tonight for the Phils in his return. 1-2 pitch. Rips this one down the first base line, but foul. That had some heat on it. A little Saturday Night Fever playing here in Saturday night at FirstEnergy Stadium for the Staying Alive version of Aiden Miller. 1-2 pitch. Fouls another one down the first base line. It's before Jake's time. He doesn't even know what I'm talking about.
I know, I at least get the reference.
1 ball and 2 strikes to Aiden Miller. Drives this one into the gap in right center field. That's going to be off the wall on a couple of hops. Verdugo's being waved around. Aiden Miller's going to try for 3. The relay throw is not in time. RBI triple for Aiden Miller, his first 3-bagger of the year.
Well, I was about to think to myself, well, when was the last time we had 9 doubles in a game? And then Aiden Miller said, hey, don't worry about that. I'm just going to keep on running.
Well, I did make fun of the fact that Felix Reyes had more triples than he did earlier in the game, so he's got one of them back there, and he's now at third base with 1 out. And Carson DeMartini at the plate. DeMartini 1 for 3 on the night. He singled in the first. He lifts this one into shallow left field, actually right behind the third base bag in the grass. Torres, the third baseman, will squeeze it for out number 2.
So running 9 extra base hits tonight are also a season high.
9 runs on 16 hits for the Phils, and they've got a runner at third base and 2 outs now for Leandro Pineda. Pineda, since coming in for Mendez, is 1 for 3. With a single to run scored up and in, almost hit him. Nine-2 Phils on top, and a runner at third, and a breaking ball from Weatherly, and a good one. Comes back after going up and in with a slider. And so it's 1 ball and 1 strike now to Leandro Pineda. Misses down low to make it 2-1. Weatherly delivers. Pineda swing and a miss, swings over the top of that slider to make it a 2 balls and 2 strike count. The RBI, by the way, for Aiden Miller on that triple, his 18th RBI of the season. Pineda gets away, it's going to roll to the backstop, and for the 3rd time in this game, the Phils will score a run on a wild pitch.
So Reading gets another run there, number 9. Also that 16th hit of the night from Miller's the new season high. The 9 extra base hits tonight is the first time Reading's done that since July 14th of 2023.
10-2 Fightin's on top. Bases are now empty. And a 3 balls and 2 strike count on Leandro Pineda. Fouls it out of play. We're a big crowd here at Citizens at FirstEnergy Stadium, and they're going to stick around. Why? Because it's been fun watching all these hits and all these runs, but a Mega Blast Fireworks is coming away as well. 3-2 pitch again, way outside, ball 4. First walk that Weatherly has given up. Phil's put another base runner on, and Felix Reyes will bat. Reyes had a good game. He's 2 for 4. He scored a couple of runs.
Rob, I think everyone's had a good game tonight.
Well, there might be some yard goats who wish they had a different night.
On the yard, Phil side
yeah,
of
that's
things.
a very good point.
7 of the 9 have 2 hits.
Yep.
The other 2 guys that don't have 2 hits at least have 1.
But everybody's had at least 1 hit. And as we said, that 2-hole, it's actually 2 different guys. So 10 different players have had a hit tonight, with Mendez getting a hit before getting shaken up, and then Pineda coming in and also getting a hit. So a conversation between Weatherly and Palma as Felix Reyes will bat. What do you think Felix Reyes is thinking about doing right about here?
Putting the ball in the bullpen. That's the one thing Reading hasn't done tonight. They've not hit a home run. They've 8 doubles, a triple, 16 hits.
They have not hit for the cycle. Henry Mendez did that last night. This is a foul straight back by Reyes. And you know what? He should do that. He should be up there looking to put one into the seats. It's 10-2 in the bottom of the 8th. He drives this one high and deep, straight away center field, and Felix Reyes bangs it off the Rangers Event Center for a 2-run bomb to the deepest part of the ballpark.
Are you a psychic? How about that? Felix Reyes gets an all-speed pitch, middle. He doesn't miss it. 109 off the bat, 416 feet. What a night. What a night. 17 hits, 12 runs, and the Phils hit for the cycle. It took until the bottom of the 8th, but they did it.
416 feet. He hit that over the retired jerseys onto and that didn't just land on the veranda. That was off the back wall to all but straightaway center field. That was a bomb by Felix Reyes.
For anyone who's been here, it is very hard to hit a baseball up there because you can hit a home run distance ball,
right?
But you got to get it up to get it over that. I think it's like a 20-plus feet wall.
Alex Pinellas is at the plate. He fouls one straight back. It's 1 ball and 1 strike.
So Reading's got 10 extra base hits tonight.
The home run by Reyes, his 7th of the year, RBI number 18 and 19 to make it a 12-2 game. 1-1 pitch to Pinellas. Fouls it straight back.
That's the cool thing about this sport. I mean, it's any sport, but like baseball especially, and obviously we're biased, but you never know what you're going to see when you come to the ballpark. Last night, you see a cycle. Tonight, Reading 10 extra base hits.
1-2 pitch is low and away to Pinellas. It's 2-2.
And I have not found a date yet. Last time it happened, July 8th, 2016. Reading had 10 extra base hits in a game.
Was that not the...
That was the Cousins
bomb? Yep, the Cousins Hopkins team. The Pinellas swings and misses, and that will bring this 8th inning fun show over. A little early fireworks show here at FirstEnergy Stadium. And for the Phils in the 8th, they put 4 more runs across. They did it on 3 more hits. There were no errors and nobody left on base. And we'll head to the 9th. For the Fightin' Phils, they lead it 12-2. Tommy McCullum back out to try to get the last 3 outs of this ball game. Before we do that, tonight's attendance at FirstEnergy Stadium is 7,167. Thanks to our friends at PSECU for presenting tonight's attendance. PSECU is proud to be one of the largest credit unions in Pennsylvania. So McCullum, who came in to get the last out in the 8th, will now try to get the 3 outs here in the 9th to finish this thing up. He'll face Braden Ward, Roniker Palma, and Dion Horhead here due up for the Yard Goats in the 9th. Ward 0 for 3 on the night. First pitch to him, he swings and fouls it out of play. Right, you stick around for our White Star Travel post-game show. We'll run down all the scoring. Might take a while, but we'll do it. 12 runs on 17 hits for the Phils. Jake kind of laid things out. The first time the Phils have had this much output offensively in quite a while, as Ward swings and misses at this one to make it no balls and 2 strikes. It's the extra base hits, the volume of extra base hits that's been special tonight for the Phils, and that's where those numbers we're talking about. Cullum's 0-2 pitch. Line fouled on the third base line as Ward stays alive. Again, 5:15 is first pitch tomorrow here at FirstEnergy Stadium. Phils and Yard Goats. Phils have not yet named their starter. Rotation got jumbled up a little bit with Will Lowe's promotion to Lehigh Valley to pitch in last night's game. 0-2 pitch from McCullum. Lifts it foul again. Lowe is back with the Phils. It was a 1-game deal for Will Lowe, as Iron Pigs needing a starter. They're trying to work their way through and figure out a way to get a win they need to lock up the first half championship for the International League, as Ward again fouls one back. So it's no balls and 2 strikes still to Braden Ward. Beats another one foul. Iron Pigs are trailing in Allentown against Rochester 7-5. In the meantime, the team that's caught them now, Jacksonville, is winning against Syracuse 4-2. As Ward fouls another one out of play. If those scores hold up, Jacksonville will take the first half title. That game, Jacksonville-Syracuse game, is in the bottom of the 9th. The Iron Pigs game is headed to the bottom of the 8th. 0-2 pitch again to Ward. This one lifted into left field. Felix Reyes will drift in, and he'll make the catch for out number 1. Now bring Roniker Palma to the plate. Palma 0 for 3 as well in the night. 7 hits tonight for the Yard Goats. And Tommy McCullum's first pitch to Palma is lifted straight up in the infield. DeMartini calls for it, drifts into foul territory and then back into fair territory to make the catch for out number 2. And that'll bring Dion Jorge to the plate. Jorge's been on base twice with a walk and a single and scored one of the 2 runs for the Yard Goats tonight. So Phil's looking to snap a 3-game losing streak with the W tonight. Set themselves up to try to get at least a split of this series if they can win tomorrow's game. After Hartford won Game 2, Game 3, and Game 4 in this series. Phil's won the first one 7-4. And now a conversation between McIntosh and McCullum. Not sure what that's all about after Jorge swung and fouled the first ball foul tip. Not sure if maybe it caught home plate umpire Elliot Melton and McIntosh is just giving him a moment. I think that's exactly what happened. Really would be no reason for McIntosh to go talk to Tommy McCullum other than that. So looks like, home plate umpire Elliot Melton says, I'm okay, let's get back to playing. It's no balls and a strike to Jorge. Just a bit high, it's 1-1. Checked his swing, and it's a fair ball. McCullum will pick it up. He'll throw to first in time for the 3rd and final out on the check swing. Tommy McCullum to Alex Pinellas covering for the 3rd and final out. And for the Yard Goats in the 9th, they go in order. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. The final score, the Reading Fightin' Phils 12. Hartford Yard Goats 2. We'll take a timeout. Back with our White Star Travel postgame show right after this. Tonight's postgame show is presented by White Star Travel, the official group sponsor of the Reading Fightin' Phils. Visit whitestartours.com for more information. Well, a very impressive performance with the bats tonight for the Reading Fightin' Phils, and lost maybe in all of that is the solid performance of Chuck King, who will get the win tonight for the Phils. He went 6 innings, gave up 6 hits, just 2 runs, walked 1 and struck out 3, and so Chuck King will get the win for the Fightin' Phils. And they now are at least in a position to try and salvage a split of this series, as well as the Phils won game 1. Yard Goats won 3 in a row with 2, 3, and 4. And now the Phils with the impressive performance tonight with the bats, a 12-2 win. Again, season high in extra base hits. And they got themselves a ton of doubles in this one, and ultimately come away with a solid victory tonight. So the final score one more time, the Reading Fightin' Phils 12, the Hartford Yard Goats 2. We'll take one more time out. When we come back, we'll run through all of the scoring on the White Star Travel postgame show when we come back to FirstEnergy Stadium after this. Welcome back to FirstEnergy Stadium and to our White Star Travel postgame show. My name is Bob McCool. The Reading Fightin' Phils with the win tonight. They beat the Hartford Yard Goats 12-2. Let's tell you a little bit about how it all went down. It started with a wild first inning for the Fightin' Phils. Aiden Miller making his return to baseball town after being on the shelf for 10 days. Had not played since June the 11th, but he was back as the DH tonight for the Fightin' Phils, and leading off as well, and he got things rolling with a single to start things. However, with Carson DiMartini at the plate before Jack Mahoney, the starter for the Yard Goats, threw his first pitch to Carson DiMartini, he picked Aiden Miller off first base, so he was out. DiMartini then singled. Hendry Mendez, who hit for the cycle last night, comes up with a base hit as well, so 5 straight hits for Hendry Mendez. Put runners at first and second for Felix Reyes. He singles to right field. They send Carson DiMartini, but Cole Carrick fires a throw from right field to home plate. They apply the tag on DiMartini, and he is gunned down at the plate. On the play, Mendez moves up to third. Reyes goes to second base, but the Phils had 3 hits and no runs to show for it. Second and third with Alex Pinellas at the plate. And Mahoney throws a pitch that gets away from Ronica Palma and to the backstop. Hendry Mendez makes a break for the plate. Palma flips it back to Mahoney covering. Mendez beats the tag, but in the process of all of that, a bit of a bump from Mahoney on Mendez to the lower back, and Mendez was in pain. Ultimately, with some lower back pain, they took him out of the game. So Henry Mendez scored on the wild pitch, and then a couple pitches later, Mahoney again fired one to the backstop, and that allowed Felix Reyes to score as well. So the Phils end up in the first inning with 4 hits, and 2 runs scored, and the 2 runs scored on 2 wild pitches. So it was a bizarre start to this one, to say the least, but they did put the 2 runs across. Chuck King on the mound for the Phils tonight. Jose Torres, the first batter to face him in the second inning, drove one out of here for a solo home run, and it made it a 2-1 game. It was the 9th home run of the year for Torres, his 38th RBI of the year. That made it a 2-1 game. The Phils came right back in the third with more offense. Leandro Pineda then came in to bat in the 3-hole for Mendez. Pineda went into right. Felix Reyes went from right field to left field with Mendez out of the game. So hopefully he'll be okay, because obviously Henry Mendez is swinging a hot bat. I'd like to see him get right back out there. We'll find out tomorrow for sure. So Pineda leads it off with a single. Reyes flies out to center. Then Alex Pinellas doubles to put runners at second and third, and 1 out for Paul McIntosh. McIntosh lines a single to right field that scores both Mendez and Pinellas. And 2 outs later, one batter later, Luis Verdugo lines a ball into right field for what turned into a double. However, Cole Carrig with another relay throw home, this time to Roniker Palma covering, and McIntosh was thrown out at the plate. So the Phils get their second runner thrown out at the plate, but they did put the 2 runs across. That made it a 4-1 game. Then we go to the 5th inning, and Dion Jorge led it off against Chuck King with a single. G.J. Hill doubled to put runners at second and third, and then Juan Guerrero hits a fly ball to right field that plates the runner on the sacrifice fly, the 20th RBI of the season for Guerrero. That made it a 4-2 game as the Yard Goats got themselves right back in it, but then the Phils really broke this thing open in the 5th inning. It started with 1 out, and it was Felix Reyes with yet another Phils double. Alex Pinellas followed that up with a double of his own, his 5th double of the year, his 13th RBI of the year as Reyes comes across. And then Paul McIntosh singles to put runners at first and third. Robert Moore then steps to the plate, and then he doubles. 2 runs come across, the 12th double of the year for Moore, 23rd and 24th RBI of the year. And then 1 batter later, Cade Fergus grinds one down the third base line for a double as well. His 4th double of the year, his 16th RBI of the year as Robert Moore comes across. So the Phils put 4 runs across in the 5th inning. They did it on 5 hits, and 4 of those 5 were doubles. So our Phils set a season high in extra base hits tonight and doubles in a game as well. So it was now an 8-2 lead for the Phils, and then he put some icing on the cake in this one with another big inning in the 8th inning. And guess what? It started out with another double. This one, a little Texas leaguer off the bat of Luis Verdugo, took a crazy hop on Cole Carrig, and that allowed Verdugo to get a double out of it. After Cade Fergus struck out, Aiden Miller lined one into the gap in right field, and it looked like another double, but Aiden Miller had other ideas, and he rolled all the way around to third, his first triple of the season. And on the play, Verdugo scores the RBI for Aiden Miller, his 18th of the season. He was at third base with 1 out. Carson DiMartini popped up. Then Leandro Pineda walked, and then Felix Reyes stepped to the plate, and Felix Reyes hit a bomb to almost straightaway center field, just over the railing that is over the top, not just over the railing, but well over the railing, over the top of where the retired jerseys are off the center field wall here at FirstEnergy Stadium. And it hit the back wall, so it didn't just clear that front wall and it land on the veranda. It hit it off the back wall, 413 feet for Henry Mendez on the 3-run home run. And the Fightin Phils put a 4 spot up on the board on the 3-run home run from Felix Reyes, his 7th home run of the year. Miller scored on the wild pitch. I was right the first time. It was a 2-run home run for Felix Reyes with Pineda at the plate. Aiden Miller scored on a wild pitch. So Pineda was at first base, and Reyes hit the 2-run home run. So again, RBI, home run number 7, RBI number 18 and 19 for Reyes. And that ended the scoring for the Phils, but they did a fair share of run producing tonight as they win it by a final score of 12-2. So Chuck King will get the win. He's now 3-3. Jack Mahoney takes the loss. He is now 0-4. And there was, of course, no save on the board tonight. For the Reading Fightin' Phils, 12 runs on 17 hits. They did not commit an error. They left 5 men on base. Hartford, 2 runs on 7 hits. They did not commit an error as well, and they left 6 men on base. Time of the game, 2 hours and 40 minutes. Played in front of 7,167 as they are still waiting here for the Mega Blast fireworks to get underway tonight here at FirstEnergy Stadium. The Reading Fightin' Phils advance to 25-41 with the win, and Hartford falls to 35-33 with the loss. Again, the series finale tomorrow afternoon at 5:15 here at FirstEnergy Stadium. The Phils have not named their starting pitcher. Connor Stain, who started the series for Hartford on Tuesday, will start for the Yard Goats tomorrow afternoon. Again, don't forget, great new giveaway for the kids tomorrow. All kids receive a Reading Hot Dogs basketball version of the Reading Hot Dogs jersey tomorrow at 5:15. It'll be the first pitch. If you can't make it out, we'll have the call of the game for you, beginning with the pregame show at 5 o'clock on our flagship 830 WEU.com. That's going to do it for our broadcast. For my broadcast partner, Jake Starr, my name is Bob McCool. The Reading Fightin' Phils win it tonight over the Hartford Yard Goats by a final score of 12-2. Thanks for listening, everyone. Hope you'll do it again tomorrow. Better yet, love to see you here at the ballpark. Have a great night, everyone.